up front normally, they move the chains. If you make one in the secondary, they light up the scoreboard. Well, Alabama's the type of team that once you make a mistake up front, they got a good chance to go 70 yards with it because of the great speed of the backs and the elusiveness of it. Ray Perkins has put together a fine football team. There's not a weakness on that football team. That's why they're rated #2. But the main thing that we've tried to convince our players, hey, we have a pretty good football team too. We aren't a great football team right now, but we are a lot better than we were earlier in the year, and we're going to get better next week. And we came down here, and in this environment, I think this is what an athlete and a competitor really likes. It's a hostile environment. There's great enthusiasm here, and I know just being in that locker room, the players are excited, and I don't even care if we don't get any gate receipts. I just think it's a privilege and a pleasure to play in this environment. I think I speak on behalf of the Notre Dame players. We're not awed, and we're not intimidated, but we do respect them.
He is tenacious. Now for Alabama, teams have been running away from Alabama's All-American linebacker Cornelius Bennett. So Ray Perkins is now flip-flopping Bennett. He's moving him from side to side in an effort to force Notre Dame's offense to do things it wouldn't ordinarily do. He is trying to limit them in what they can do.
I think we probably do. I know if I was on the offensive side of the ball playing a Cornelius Bennett, it would certainly force me to do some things I probably wouldn't ordinarily do or want to do, as far as going away from him on some things and going to him on some others, because going away from a great player like Cornelius Bennett's not always the best thing to do, because he might run it down from behind.
Just to remake the point, as you note the series record, Alabama has never beaten Notre Dame. Last time, 1980, they played here. The Irish won with a touchdown.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. By Coors and Coors Light, beers with a difference worth tasting. By The Equitable, your key to financial opportunity. And by MCI, communications for the next 100 years.
It's time to change your light bulb. Philips Longer Life Square bulbs last 33% longer than ordinary round bulbs.
2 out of 3 Indy drivers rely on STP oil treatment, because when it comes down to it, STP adds extra lubrication to reduce engine wear in whatever you drive.
STP is the racer's edge.
You know, the weirdest things happened to me, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I mean, here I am stocking up for Halloween. I got my steaks, got my ribs. Then when I asked the stock boy where the Coors Light is stacked, he points me to the Coors and Coors Light Halloween display, and I'm on it. Whoa, it's like deja vu. Whoa, it's like deja vu. Look for it where you buy beer. I shop here because they slash prices. There goes another one. Happy Halloween, darling.
This man, Sylvester Croom, involved in all 4 of these Alabama-Notre Dame games, an All-American center for the Tide, now an assistant coach. His thoughts just before kickoff.
There's no question not beating Notre Dame is something, particularly this 7-3 game, that I've had to live with a very long time. It was a chance for Alabama to win a national championship, something that I and my teammates went to Alabama to do. And twice, 73 and 74, we were deprived of that opportunity by losses to Notre Dame. I look forward to today. You can't change those games. Nothing can. But I would like a little satisfaction, a chance to beat Notre Dame.
Well, they have their chance. Both teams are on the field, and we are ready for the kickoff. Notre Dame will kick off. Alabama will receive. The middleman for the Tide, Bobby Humphrey, their starting tailback. Very quick. John Carney kicks it deep, way back, no return. Nailed it all the way beyond the field of play, and here comes Alabama now to the offense. Shula, Good, Humphreys, Bell, the wide receiver. Humphrey will be a very important personality in the game today, what with Gene Jelks on the sidelines injured. Albert Bell is their big play man. He makes the big catches. They use him a lot as a decoy. Maybe a while before you see him getting the ball. Then on the other hand, he might get it on the first play. We'll see. As Alabama comes to the attack, first down from their 20. Shula sends Humphrey in motion and hands it off inside to his fullback. Carrying is Perry Good. Perry Good, remember, a couple of years ago was a starting tailback and had a big ball game against Boston College. The offensive front for Alabama, anchored by Wes Neighbors. Wes is a big man, fully capable of taking on any nose guard, I think, in the country one-on-one. He is a bell cow in the offensive front for Alabama. Their weights up front are 270, 270, 250, 250, and 290. There's plenty of heft. They are strong right, double wide. Bell to the bottom of the picture. It is second down and 10. The ball goes to Humphrey this time. Cuts it back against the grain. Breaks it out to the 30-yard line for a first down.
Okay, Bama.
Tackle made by Dave Butler, the outside linebacker for Notre Dame. And again, it just seems to jump out at me, Tim Brent, that the outside people of Notre Dame defensively will be pressured some. You see that Butler and Gordon are the two outside backers now. And Dave Butler getting more playing time today because of the injury to Cedric Figueroa. They're both good ones, but maybe lacking a little bit in foot speed. First down for the Tide from the 30. They look into the middle this time with Humphrey. He's 6'1", 185, a sophomore out of Birmingham. As a matter of fact, grew up just across the street, literally, from Legion Field. Gain of a yard.
Those outside people are going to be important today. They have to maintain that outside leverage. They know they don't have the speed that Alabama has, so they want to force everything back into the middle where they have help, where they've got pursuit lanes. If they have a breakdown, you heard Lou Holt say it in the pregame show. He's concerned. They won't only move the chains, but they'll light up the scoreboard.
The Tide looking now at second down and 9. Oh, just beyond their own 31-yard line. About 112 degrees down on that rug. Shula, late turnaround, late handoff, scramble for the ball. Alabama keeps it. Shula saw the ball come loose. Good went by him. They missed the handoff and almost turned it over.
The thing about Alabama, and they are -5 in the giveaway takeaway ratio, so they do make mistakes. That one was in the breadbasket. He just didn't close up on it. But the key is Alabama makes its mistakes early in the ball game and then comes back strongly at the latter part. They've outscored opponents 76-34 in the second half.
Loss on that play of about 4 yards. Ball comes back near the 27, where it is third down now and 14. Now let's see if Bell is the man. Bell, Richardson goes deep. They swing it out, and Shula overthrows his intended receiver, the fullback Good, coming out of the backfield. Alabama throws to its backs a lot. Richardson was on a post pattern deep and could have been had, I think, because he had turned on the jets and broken free. But pass goes incomplete, and now in comes Chris Moore to do the punting. As Notre Dame's return people, Troy Wilson goes back along with Milt Jackson. Troy Wilson is a cornerback. Milt Jackson is a wide receiver. Chris Moore, as a freshman last year, averaged 45+ yards per punt. Big, tall, rangy youngster came here from a high school career as a quarterback. Shoots it a mile high, gets a tight spiral. It is a howitzer shot. It goes all the way down to the end zone. Holy smokes, what a kick. Milt Jackson running along with it and decided, I'm not going to mess with it. It's a tail dragger. It'll probably go deep, and it did. But it'll go in the books as a 73-yard punt for Chris Moore.
We're MCI, racing hard to be your communications company. We never coast. We're geared to win. MCI competes internationally, offering you the world's most extensive range of voice, data, and messaging services. Our competition is good. We have to be better. And because we compete, you win. MCI, communications for the next 100 years.
Today's Equitable has new life insurance ideas that can provide money for a secure and comfortable retirement. Today's Equitable, your key to financial opportunity. We have new kinds of insurance that do more than just protect your family. They can help you earn the money for your new home. Today's Equitable, your key to financial opportunity. Our new insurance ideas can do a lot for you. Talk to us. Your key to financial opportunity.
The Notre Notre Dame Fighting Irish have had 23 unanimous All-Americans in their rich football tradition, more than any other university.
Well, Chris Moore's first punt of the day, certainly man's eyes, wasn't it? 73 yards. And up comes Notre Dame, first down at the 20. Cornell Taylor, Mark Green line up. Behind Steve Berline, Tim Brown breaks out of the stack eye and goes out as a wide receiver, and up the middle goes the Irish. It is Mark Green, the sophomore from Riverside, California, ripping it up for 15 yards and a first down.
I guarantee we'll see a lot of this afternoon. Notre Dame is going to run right at him, try to alleviate that speed. Now, they say speed is only good if you're chasing somebody or if you're running away from somebody. But they're going to go right at him. Lou Holtz told us that early. Big gainer. They got into the secondary, and if they can do that this afternoon, they'll put some points on the board.
Irish first down at the 35. First play, picks 15. Same alignment. Brown is staying in the alignment this time, but it goes to Tim, and Tim Brown spinning in the middle will have about 3 yards to the 38. This is the offensive start now for Notre Dame. Berline, your quarterback. Taylor and Green, Brown lined up. Sometimes, as you will see in that stack eye, with the key people, I think, today, because of the heat, being Green, whom you've already seen run for 15, and the big freshman, Anthony Johnson, 220 pounds from his hometown, which is South Bend, the home of Notre Dame. So consequently, I think the presence of Johnson will be more and more obvious today, particularly when it is so hot. But he's going to get better every week, too. They go inside to the fullback, Cornell Taylor, who's a 215-pound senior from Lafayette, California, and he gets it over the 40 to the 41. The offensive front for the Irish weighs in, Askin 270, Freeman 265, Lanza 255, Heffern 265, and Sproul 265. Joel Williams, big target at tight end, 6'4", 235, and he alternates with Andy Heck, who's 6'6", and 235.
Notre Dame will use that tight end today, too, to drag him across that middle. An effective play against Alabama.
Milt Jackson, number 6 in the ball game, as you saw him come right to you. 3rd down and 4 for the Irish. Berline, little swing pass out to Green. Mark bobbles the ball, and he hit the ground back at the 44, short of the first down by a yard. Lost his balance and couldn't keep moving, and so consequently comes up just short. And in will come the punting team for Notre Dame. Alabama's defense lines up this way. And the key people I think you'll have fun watching today will be Ricky Thomas, the strong safety, number 34. He comes up and plays like a linebacker. And Cornelius Bennett, who will be all over the field. Dan Sorensen is in the punt now for the Irish. He's averaging on the year just under 41 yards per kick. Greg Richardson is the punt return man for Alabama. There's some pressure on it, and they almost got it. But it's a pretty good kick by Sorensen. He runs Richardson well back, and Notre Dame's going to knock this one dead inside the 10-yard line. Richardson probably should have taken the punishment, caught the ball, and returned it. It results in a 48-yard punt for Sorensen, and Alabama's second possession will be at their own 8.
Something bigger, to master a more challenging world, to feel the confidence and pride of knowing who you are, what you can do. Show the world your U.S. Navy. Live the adventure. Call 1-800-327-NAVY.
Quickly, 2 final scores. Penn State has put Rutgers away at 31-6. The Nittany Lions now 4-0. Georgia, overcoming the turnover problem which has plagued the Dogs, beat Mississippi 14-10. Keith?
All right, Jim, here we go now with Alabama's second possession. They have it first down on their 8-yard line. And again, you think back over this series, and Alabama has made some mistakes. In fact, the last time they played was here, and a couple of fumbles. They traded fumbles, and then Alabama made another one down on the 4, and it resulted in a Notre Dame win. So right here, it's, I think, a time to be very careful. Probably very basic. They give the ball to Humphrey. He pops out of there. and comes all the way out to the 17. Found a little crack and just blew it open. Randy Wells and Troy Wilson brought him down for the Irish.
That big old offensive line firing off now. You said stay basic. And this is one-on-one. Watch them drive out there. They're off the ball in a hurry. They open the hole, and now by the time he comes through, the hole's wide open. And you put Humphrey in the secondary. He's got tremendous speed, and he's got those good reflexes of a talented back.
And he's got a big start. He's carried 3 times, picked up 25 yards. It's 2nd down and 1. Humphrey in motion, leaves Good back there. Carey's got the ball, swings outside, ahead for 1st down as he puts his helmet on Mark Spence and lunges ahead and picks up the 1st down for the Tide.
Kerry Good has apparently rehabilitated the knee that was operated on and has made the adjustment from tailback to fullback quite nicely. We saw Kerry Good as a tailback amass nearly 300 total yards of offense against Boston College 2 years ago. He scored 3 touchdowns, and then in the 2nd half he hurt his knee.
Working now, strong left side. Humphrey the deep man. Good in behind him. Shula goes to Humphrey, cuts back against the grain, and the Irish corral him just about the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard. Penetration by Wally Klein. More on the story of Bobby Humphrey now with Al Troutwig.
Keith, you're looking at the place where Bobby Humphrey grew up. Yes, that little project across the street from Legion Field. A couple of years ago, when Kerry Good was having a great night against Boston College, Bobby Humphrey walked across the upper deck selling Coca-Colas. Well, today, Kerry Good and Bobby Humphrey are in the backfield together for Alabama. And look how close it was from his house to the field. You think Bobby Humphrey had Crimson Tide fever? You bet he did.
Right now, it is 2nd down, 11. He indeed stayed at home. Little shovel pass ahead. It goes to Kerry Good, and Good's across the 30 out to the 31, and got to go to the 34 for the 1st down.
Tremendously effective play when you have them laying their ears back and coming now to try to put pressure on Shula. They wanted to make penetration early to stop Humphrey. So you run him inside. It's run blocking, which sets it up, and then you just dribble a little shuffle pass inside. Look at Wes Neighbors now, the center, 54.
That's Wally Klein he's taken on, and he just rides him far enough out of the play to make it effective, doesn't he?
Got to keep those hands in, though.
Bo Wright is in the backfield now, number 40, a junior from Pritchard, Alabama. Shula's pass down the middle of the field is incomplete. There was double coverage on Greg Richardson. Marv Spence and Troy Wilson, the 2 corners, had eaten him up down the middle, and there was no chance on that one. And they are still using Al Bell as something of a decoy, but he will see the ball when the time is right. It brings in the punting team once again as Wilson drops deep for Notre Dame. Last time Moore hit it, remember, it went 73. Gets it out, not quite as prodigious as the last one, but still very good one. It is taken by Wilson. Wilson trying to find a little daylight, and he is knocked down at the 33-yard line. That was a 43-yard punt by Chris Moore, and he hit it into the wind. There's a pretty good little breeze blowing from right to left as you watch the game.
More importantly than the yardage, Keith, was the hang time. It was 4.75 hang time. So if it's in the air almost 5 seconds, that cover team has a chance to get down and smother the ball carrier.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh yeah.
It's the rhythm on the road. It's the pulse on the street.
Pulse on the street.
City and town, a magic sound. Feel the heartbeat of America.
Chevrolet.
That's today, Chevrolet.
Next Saturday, Heisman candidate Vinny Testaverde leads #1 Miami against West Virginia. Or 6th-ranked Oklahoma takes on Texas. Coverage begins with College Football Today.
Many of you will see Miami next week. The team they murdered in their opening game, South Carolina, is now giving Nebraska quite a battle. It's 13-10 in the third quarter. The two teams met only once before, and at that time, back in the 60s, the South Carolina quarterback was a fellow named Dan Reeves, who now works in Denver. Keith?
That South Carolina team gave Georgia fits, too, last week. Joe Morrison got them cranked up after a slow start. From the 33 now. For Notre Dame, first down for the Irish. They come out with new backs. Anthony Johnson, the tailback. Tom Monahan in at fullback. Berline, your quarterback. And Tim Brown is wide to the top of the picture. And down goes Berline. Cornelius Bennett. Ball comes loose. Cornelius Bennett looping around the outside. Decks Berline, and the ball comes free.
This guy practices every day like he's trying to make the team. He comes through untouched. It looked like it was going to be the backside of the play. It's that waggle play where everybody goes to the left, Berline comes back to the right. But he didn't have any protection. The pulling guard that was supposed to get out there and protect him never got there because this guy, Cornelius Bennett, runs a 4.5 40. He is fast.
It is not a fumble, however. It is down back at near the 25.
See 65 right here? He's the pulling guard. Never gets over there. Berline felt that mistake, too.
So the loss is from the 33 back to about the 25. Braxton Banks comes in now at the fullback position. Berline out of the shotgun. Little shovel pass ahead to Banks, the fullback. And Alabama eats him up at the 26. So the Alabama defense now starting to swarm a little more.
Notre Dame is a little bit shaken right now, too. You could see it on that play. It wasn't crisp. They were hesitating a little bit. You know, this is their second possession, and it's the first time all year that Notre Dame has not scored on its first possession. All three games, and each drive was more than 70 yards. So they got the offense in gear early. Here, they're shaking a little bit.
Ball at the 27. It is third down. 16. Berline feels pressure, gets his pass away down the middle, and it is incomplete. The pass was intended for Milt Jackson. Diving for the ball, Kermit Kendrick didn't come up with it.
Alabama this time came with 6 linebackers. They took Slaughter out. They brought Philip Brown in. Here comes Cornelius Bennett again from the outside. See, now, they're coming and forcing from the outside, and Berline has to step in. What he runs into, Keith, are 4 more linebackers.
And now, fourth down, the Irish to punt. Sorensen's last kick, 48-yarder. Richardson back again. No pressure this time on Sorensen. The kick is away. Good hang time on it. Greg's up to make the catch. He's going to return this one. Bounces outside, around the corner, on his way. One man. Gone. Touchdown, Alabama. Point try by Van Tiffin. Knuckleballs over, just over. That long streak of 108 is now 109, but there have been some breath takers along the way, and that was one.
Randy Wells got a hand on it. Almost blocked the extra point, but here's the return now. Watch this. Once he steps up and then gets to the outside, the wall is set up. And then it's Katie bar the door. Richardson has great speed, 4.4 speed. But look at the guys out in front of him now.
Look who makes the key block, though, that turns him loose on the last man.
Freddie Robinson is out there. Cornelius Bennett is out there. They all throw the blocks. But the wall was set up perfectly. You could tell after the sack on Berline, Notre Dame was shaken up. They're still shaken up, and now they have to regroup. I don't know if they're going to be able to.
If you own a house, you gotta own a shop vac. This baby's got the power to pick up almost anything.
Got broken glass, nails, or wood chips? Shop vac gobbles up stuff that would kill an ordinary vacuum. And a shop vac wet dry can even vacuum water like a flooded basement. The washing machine is flooding the house.
No. Every house needs a shop vac. Starting at under $50, a shop vac is heavy duty, not heavy money. And remember, if it doesn't say shop vac, keep shopping.
The right parts. Mr. Goodwrench has the right parts for your GM car. Parts that fit. Parts engineered for your car by people who designed your car. Parts for every make and every model of virtually every GM car and light truck on the road today. Mr. Goodwrench can help you keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts, because no one knows your GM car better. No one.
On the Disney Sunday movie.
One of our team is in trouble.
Pregnant, dog nap, and behind bars.
Oh, wow.
With The Little Spies, Sunday.
So Greg Richardson's 66-yard punt return puts Alabama on the scoreboard at 5:23 to go in the first quarter. And the Tide will now kick off to the Irish with Tim Brown, the deep man for Notre Dame. And Tiffin kicking into the wind. Wind's going to knock it down quite short. Up at the 10. Tim Brown is down around the 22.
Keith, when you're covering a punt, everybody has a lane. They have to come back, they have to defeat the blocker, and they have to get to the ball carrier. Here, everybody came down the middle. You can see the person that had the outside lane is nowhere around. The outside's open. Once Alabama set up that wall, look at Cornelius Bennett at the bottom of your screen. He's going after Sorensen. Doesn't even have to really go after him. Oh, could have been called for a block there, but I think Sorensen turned his back. No clip. Good block.
And so Notre Dame with Terry Andrzak in at quarterback for this series will start just short of its 22. Goodby Berline was shaken up on that sack a while ago by Bennett. He took a body slam to the surface. Goes to Johnson. Anthony Johnson, a tough runner, has 8 yards as he gets out just past the 29.
Johnson has those Joe Bellino type legs. They're big, they're strong. He keeps them moving and driving at all times.
He's going to be a good one, I think, Timmy.
Whirling dervish.
Just a freshman, 220 pounds. Alvin Miller now is in there at a wide receiver position. Tim Brown is out. Reggie Ward is in. Andrzak hands the ball off to Johnson again. Goes for his first down. He is hit right on the line of scrimmage and drilled back. But it depends on the mark, and the mark looks pretty good from here. Cliff Thomas made the first hit for Alabama, coming from a nose guard position.
Made the tackle. And 2 yards. First down, Notre Dame.
It is a first down for Notre Dame. The referee today is John Sophie. Side judge is Al Granning. Umpire is P.T. Williams. Field judge Joe Dorenzo. Linesman William Cronin. Back judge Charlie Horton. And the line judge is Ed Dudley. It's a mixed crew of Central Independent officials and Southeastern Conference. On first down, Andrzak gives the ball to Reggie Ward, the wide receiver. Ward turns the corner, and he's out past the marker for another Notre Dame first down. And now they're starting to show a little grit in the offensive movement, as the line that time got a very good surge.
First down, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, Tim, has run the ball 7 times and used 7 different ball carriers.
They're also starting to go to the corners a little bit now. They're going to try to start spreading that defense out a little bit, use a little bit more motion. They have to do that, and they really have to get their tight end into this ball game.
Tom Monahan is back in at a fullback position as they go to a power I set here, double wide, bottom of the picture. And Andrzak coming down the line is being pursued, gets away from that pursuit, and then takes the punishment at the 45. Hit by Britton Cooper, cornerback. He's the first man, a senior from Mobile for Alabama.
Alabama. They made 2 yards. Cooper.
Alabama defensively is using a lot of combinations. They're playing man-to-man defense with the linebackers. They're playing zone deep in the secondary. And they're using a lot of linebackers. They're using linebackers at down positions, too. They're using 5 and 6 linebackers.
Oh, he's got about 12, doesn't he?
He said he'll play about 11 today.
Is that right? Second down, 8 yards for Notre Dame. The ball at their own 45. Alabama leading 7-0 first quarter. Andrew Zach's pass to the sidelines. Good to Reggie Ward. Hits the sidelines at the Alabama 46. And so now the Irish are on the other side of the mountain as Ricky Thomas shoved him out of bounds.
Notre Dame needs a couple of plays like that, too. You can see that the Irish now are starting to regain their composure just a little bit. Nothing fancy about this. It's a high percentage pass. It's just a down and out. What they did is they used the wide receiver to clear out the defensive cornerback over there.
Ray Dumas, number 82, is in now, the sophomore from St. Louis for Notre Dame at wide receiver. Ward is out. Miller is the wide man to the top of the picture. Pitch back to the tailback. Nope, that's Dumas. The Dumas was lined up in the tailback position. And Alabama's defensive people string it out to the sidelines, and it's going to be a loss of about a yard as Britt Cooper again was over there. Hard to run outside on Alabama.
Alabama's loading up again. They just brought in George Bethune, another linebacker. This is the type of situation that the Crimson Tide just thrives on. Second and long.
Juan Francisco, number 32, is on the field now for the Irish. Andrew Zach out of the shotgun. Quarterback draw up the middle. And they bring him down around the 40 with Bethune and Gilbert, two backers, making the stop. So it'll be third down and short now for the Irish. See the time remaining. First quarter, Alabama scoring on a 66-yard punt return by Greg Richardson.
Keith, you can really tell now that the Irish are very concerned about where Cornelius Bennett is, and I don't blame them. But the bottom line is he's having an effect, even if he's not personally putting the pressure on. If they go away from him, he's affecting their offensive scheme.
Still working out of the shotgun with Andrew Zach. See him creep up. It's a little different alignment here as he starts moving now. They almost had two of them moving at the same time that time. Andrew Zach is sacked way back on the Notre Dame 46-yard line by nose guard Kurt Jarvis.
See Kurt Jarvis right in the middle of your screen. He's double teamed right now. Now they keep pressuring. He is the roommate of Mike Schuler. Two completely separate guys, different type of guys.
Quite a bodyguard to have for a roommate, I'll tell you.
6'2", 266 pounds.
Sorensen in to punt. Kick is away. Richardson circles under it at the 14. Comes up the sidelines and gets out to about the 20. With a minute and a half to go in the first quarter, it's first down, Alabama at their 20. And here's a quick visit to the Notre Dame campus.
The University of Notre Dame grew from a vision of Father Edward Sorin, who wanted to build an American Catholic university, the equal of the great medieval universities. Today, Notre Dame is the best-known Catholic university in the world, a residential campus where students come not only to learn, but to learn how to live. Notre Dame serves contemporary society and the church in whose tradition it was founded by being a place where belief informs scholarship, where values get...
Bobby Humphrey carrying on first down and 10 from the 20 will pick up a couple of yards on the play. And it'll be second down 8 for Alabama, leading 7-0. And let's pause 5 seconds so all of our stations can tell you who they are. And on second and 8, Al Belg will go wide to the top of the picture. Richardson to the bottom. It's Good and Humphrey lined up behind Shula. Notre Dame right now showing a 5-man front. Pitch back to Humphrey. And Humphrey is gang tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Wally Klein and Brandy Wells, the strong safety, had come up almost into a linebacker position and helped on the hit.
Something we haven't seen Notre Dame do this year in the games that we've covered. They brought their secondary players, except for the weak side safety, everybody up tight close to the line. And when the ball was snapped, Wells came across the line and run support, almost in a blitz type scheme, and he made the play.
It's third down. Long 7. Shula's pass was thrown behind Bobby Humphrey.
Shula's pass.
And so in comes Chris Moore to punt as we have 9 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Remember last year we saw Chris Moore. He was kicking against Auburn near the end of the season, had a broken leg.
Yeah.
His left leg was broken. He had a cast on it, still came out and punted and averaged close to 47 yards.
When he nails it, he can nail it, and we just saw it. The first punt of the day for 73, the longest of his career. Of course, that included a pretty good-sized bounce into the end zone. Troy Wilson to return it for the Irish. Moore's kick this time not particularly good as Wilson comes up for a fair catch at the Notre Dame 44-yard line. That only a 34-yard punt. And time has run out in the first quarter. So after the first 15 minutes in Birmingham, it's Alabama 7, Notre Dame nothing.
When we want to work up a sweat, nothing works like this full-size Chevy pickup. It's got the muscle of a fuel injector 350 V8. And it's available in every full-size Chevy. It's got the strength of girder main front suspension. Where? Oh, there. Plus double wall construction. So when you need a tough working partner, nothing works like a Chevy truck. Nothing. Yeah? Yeah. Right?
We're here live with Arby's World Series winners game. How about a prediction on the outcome, Phil?
Well, Bert, that's easy. With $15 million in prizes, everybody's a winner here at Arby's. They're winning Arby's food, thousands in cash, Chevy Novas, even a Corvette convertible.
Come to Arby's today for your World Series winners game card and win food, cash, and cars.
I won!
Phil?
I won!
Oh, Phil? Phil?
Arby's World Series winners game. Everyone's a winner.
Your life is changing, and State Farm is there.
I'm State Farm agent Jim McConnell. Terry Saylor's life insurance started out pretty simple. Then there were 3 children, 2 new mortgages, a big job promotion for Terry, and for Mrs. Saylor, a life plan of her own. 7 outdates in just 6 years. State Farm agents are there to start you out with life insurance that works for you.
And like a good neighbor,
And we're there to keep it working for you.
State Farm is there.
With the Hayes modem, a sales manager can check inventories in manufacturing or track shipments through the mainframe across the country. A lawyer can get precedents to prepare a brief. A farmer can check commodity prices to determine when to sell. And an investor can get the information he needs from Dow Jones, Dun & Bradstreet, or even the government. The Hayes modem. It's like fitting a 10,000-book library in a 10-inch case.
Yes, he's here with his magic potions, but right now his Warriors are down by a score of 7-0, but Notre Dame starts this possession with very good field position out on their own 44. Bill Jackson and Tim Brown go wide as Steve Berline returns now at quarterback. Cornelius Bennett is off the field for a rest in this series. Berline on a little delay gives to Pernell Taylor, the fullback. And Taylor will have a couple of yards up to the 46 in the first quarter. There were no penalties, there were no turnovers, and it took only 27 minutes to play.
And everything was virtually even, too, when you look at the numbers statistically. Notre Dame had a couple more first downs than Alabama did. You scored it on points. I'd say Cornelius Bennett got a pretty good couple of licks in there. But they only played thus far as Richardson's punt return to 73 yards. That's the difference.
Second down and 8 for the Irish. Berline checking off. Freezing the Alabama defense and breaks Taylor over the left side. And Purnell goes inside the 35 to the 34-yard line and a first down before Ricky Thomas brought him down. He checked it off, found what he wanted, had the Alabama defense off balance, and they blew a hole for him.
Well, that's what they were trying to do. You saw him go to the corners a couple times now. All they're doing here is zone blocking against Alabama. They come out and they hit him with a quick opener. Pernell Taylor got into that secondary fairly quickly.
So now the Irish manifesting the threat here in the early moments of the second quarter. Berline pitches it outside. Mark Green is caught behind the line of scrimmage and dropped back on the 38 by Philip Brown.
Alabama has kept people from running the ball outside effectively all year long. Philip Brown's had a sack in every game. He's an active young player. They say he'll get a couple of sacks today. That's what they told me. He told me that.
He, too, stayed home to play. He's from Birmingham. He's a junior. Second down, 13. Reggie Ward back in for the Irish, number 83. Berline back to throw it. Throws it underneath. Going to be picked off. Nope. I tell you, that's a heady play by Joel Williams. The ball was off the tight end's hands, right into the hands of Greg Gilbert, an inside backer who had dropped, and Joel Williams had the presence of mind to realize that he was going to catch the ball, and he just belts it.
See the fake to Green there? They tried to send him down the middle and clear it out so that the tight end could come underneath. He was open, but the ball hit his hands. Now here comes Williams. You're right, it just separates him from the ball. That's a great play.
And it's third down and a long 13. It's close to 14, actually.
Great play, but he should have made the catch.
Right. Cornelius Bennett is now back in on third and long. Berline rolls out, pressure's on, pass away, under pressure. Brown can't hold on the sideline. Tim Brown. Ricky Thomas was trailing on the play, but Brown ran out of real estate and couldn't hold the ball.
Lou Holt said he was going to get the ball to Tim Brown more this year than ever, and he's been true to his word. Brown has touched the ball 41 times already this year. Last season, he got the ball 43 times in the entire season, and that's running, receiving, and returns.
Look at this. It's fourth down and 13, and Notre Dame's going to go with it from their own 38. No, they're not either. I thought for a minute they were going to go with it, but they're not. Berline is going to punt it, I think. Well, he did. Straight up. Takes an Alabama bounce back up the field. That's almost a negative punt.
That's his second punt this season, Keith, and he did have a negative punt the first time against Michigan State. It was a quick hit. It went off the side of his foot and got a backward bounce.
Power your business software into a new dimension with the Tandy 3000 computer. Important data is only milliseconds away from an advanced 286 microprocessor that delivers high-speed performance and PC compatibility. You can add up to 12 million bytes of memory and expand by sharing that power with others in your office. Discover the Tandy 3000 family of value-priced business computers at Radio Shack Computer Centers.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll be glad he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to, and nobody knows that better than a woman. Only Brute deodorant gives you long-lasting protection with the great smell of Brute.
Hello.
Brute deodorant, cologne, and everything else. Brute. It smells like a man.
Great.
The San Diego Chargers. Quarterback Dan Fouts puts the charge in their offense. The Seattle Seahawks. They're off to one of their best starts ever. It's ABC's Monday Night Football.
Well, trailing 17-13 after a Harold Green touchdown run in the fourth quarter, third-ranked Nebraska has gotten a clutch 57-yard touchdown run from a back named Dana Brinson to go back on top of South Carolina 20-17, fewer than 8 minutes now remaining in Columbia. Keith?
Georgia boy biting South Carolina on that one. He's from Valdosta, so just down the road from Columbia, South Carolina.
Everything relatively even out of the first quarter of play. Notre Dame had the advantage in first downs. The big punt return by Richardson is the difference. I said that punt that Berline had against Michigan State was -3. I checked it. It is 19-yard punt. So he's gotten both punts now off the right side of his foot.
Alabama goes to work now from their own 27-yard line with a first down. That last punt, incidentally, was 11 yards, and Kerry Good is thrown down by Mike Poboleski for no gain. Here's Al.
Keith, I'm sitting on the 50-yard line with the Associate Athletic Director at Alabama, Sister Carol Ann, Stamford, Connecticut. How did that come about?
Well, when Ray was coach with the Giants, he made me honorary assistant coach for the Giants. Then when he came to Alabama, he said, don't forget, I hired you, you're still my coach. And at the same time, Bill Parcells said, I'm renewing your contract. So what happened is Ray said, all right, you're still my coach, but he said, I'm also making associate athletic director.
And how are you supporting the team today?
Well, instead of being a player coach, I'm a prayer coach.
Thank you. Keith, by the way, Ray wanted Sister Carol Ann to wear a crimson habit, but they don't make them in that color yet, so we'll just keep praying from the 50-yard line. Back to you.
Little swing pass did not work, as you saw there. I tell you, when you get into a ball game like this one, you want all the help you can get, don't you?
He's pulling out all the stops, didn't he, against Notre Dame? They brought their priest.
Mike Shula, slow starting today, 1 out of 5 for 6 yards. He really hasn't thrown the ball that well. He's thrown the ball behind 2 receivers, and that was not a very good pass. 3rd down and 9 now. Lobs this one over to Kerry Good. Good's got some help out in front, but he needed some in the more immediate area as Brandy Wells had him in his sights and got him short of the 1st down, and the Tide will have to punt. Troy Wilson and Milt Jackson, 2 of them now dropping back for the Irish as Moore comes in with a light breeze at his back. He's had 73, 43, and 34 on his 3 punts. Didn't get all of that one either as Jackson comes up on the run to get it. Milt dodges a couple, but they'll get him just short of the 40-yard line. Put it down on the 38. A 38-yard punt by Moore with 11:18 to go in the 1st half. So once again, Notre Dame will possession the ball in good field position, trailing Alabama 7-0.
Oh. Just like that, this AC copper core spark plug can fire 30 times. That's the firepower today's high-revving car engines need. What about your plugs? If they can't fire for up to 30,000 miles, oh, maybe you're missing out on peak performance. For the AC Delco retailer nearest you, just give me a call at 1-800-AC-DELCO. Wait for trouble, and you've got it.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
It's the rhythm on the road. It's the pulse on the street.
Pulse on the street.
City and town of magic sound.
Feel the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet.
That's today, Chevrolet.
Well, if you live in the Southland, that noise you just heard was in Columbia, South Carolina, where a freshman running back named Harold Green has just scored his 3rd touchdown of the day, and South Carolina's Gamecocks are positioned for a monumental upset, leading 3rd-ranked Nebraska now 24-20 with less than 4 minutes to go. Keith?
You know, there were so many teams that had a chance, I thought, to win the national championship here that the one that won it would certainly have to go undefeated. The way things are going this year, I'm not sure that's necessarily so anymore.
Well, everybody seems to be conceding the thing to Miami, but Pittsburgh and Florida State could both jump up and fight them.
That's right. 1st down. Ball of 38. Terry Andrzak is back in at quarterback for this series for the Irish. And he hands it off to the up man. That's Pernell Taylor. And Taylor gets the ball out across the 40 to the 42, a pickup close to 4 yards on that carry. It's sort of been, if you look at that, I guess you'd say we've had nothing but a tango offense so far, but that's not really so, because each team has been able to move the ball on 1 or 2 explosive moments.
It's been fun. Notre Dame's had it 4 times, punted four times.
Yep.
Same for Alabama, 4 possessions, 4 punts.
2nd down, 6 for the Irish. This time the tailback, Mark Green, carries the ball, and he's nailed down right about the line of scrimmage. Give him maybe a yard or so on it as Cornelius Bennett. Next Saturday on ABC, the Miami Hurricanes with Benny Testaverde, which seems to be another concession on the Heisman there, will take their unbeaten record to West Virginia, Morgantown. Some of you in the eastern part of the country will see that one. The rest of you will be watching that old traditional Oklahoma and Texas from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas here on ABC. It's 3rd down and 5 for Notre Dame. Andrzak options, turns upfield, gets his 1st down, and then some. Hard run by Terry as he gets the ball to the 40-yard line of Alabama.
You could feel the breath of Cornelius Bennett coming from the backside, too. It's a good thing he turned the corner when he did. Look at him now. He's looking down the line. You can see him read. There's nobody out there. They had already gone outside for the pitch man. So then he just turns it up and gets a block and makes a nice gain out of it. First down, Notre Dame in Alabama territory.
They marked him just short of the 40 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Alabama leading 7-0. Andrzak gives inside to the fullback, and that's a good 5-yard pickup again by Taylor. They mark him inside the 35-yard line. When you're picking up 5-6 yards on first down, you're going to move the chains a lot. Taylor now on 5 carries with 32 yards. As you look at scores of the top 10 teams, and Anthony Johnson checks into the ball game for Notre Dame.
Opens up your offense when you have that situation of 2nd and 5. You can do virtually anything.
Tailback. Anthony Johnson carries and loses on the play. Knocked down at the 36-yard line. He lost a yard.
Andrzak or Johnson was a little bit confused on that play. There was a hesitation there, and they looked out of sync. They didn't have the rhythm they normally have on that play.
Joel Williams checks back in at tight end, replacing Andy Heck, and probably brings a play with him for 3rd down and 6. Alvin Miller, the big wide receiver, has not seen the ball today. The ball is loose. Alabama's got it. Greg Gilbert covered it.
But that play was made by Kurt Jarvis. Oh, what a job he did. Take a look right here at 95. See, he's lined up on an angle. He'll do a spin move to get free. Now watch. He's already clogged the hole. Now he spins right into the ball carrier. And then he strips the ball. The ball's loose right there. It's on the ground. Alabama football. What a great job by Jarvis.
Tide takes over on the turnover. First one of the day at the 36-yard line.
Perkins says if there's a better nose guard in the country, he hasn't seen him.
Ross Johnson, Larry Rose, Wes Neighbors, Bill Condon, and Joe King. The big fellas up front for the Tide now on first down. Pitch goes to Bobby Humphrey. Gets a block on the corner and turns it to the 42. Mike Kovalevsky, inside backer for the Irish, brought him down. Michael Sr. out of Newcastle, Indiana. This is Alabama's best field position in starting a possession. Second down, 4.5. Lou Holtz has now passed 10 miles in his stroll today, but then never stops on the sideline. Shula gives up inside to the up man, Kerry Good, and Good is close to his first down at the 46. Time remaining, first half.
Perkins and Holtz are both very fine tacticians. They adjust as the game develops as well as any coaches in the game.
Just short, 3rd down. They need 1.5 feet. Shula keeps it and has the first down. Moving over the right side behind Neighbors and Condon. Move the football to the 48-yard line.
Lou Holtz was telling me prior to the game, I asked him what kind of practice week Notre Dame had. He said, well, it rained a lot, and we had to practice indoors, and that threw us off a little bit.
Yeah, they've had some tough weather in the Midwest. First down, 48-yard line. Humphrey goes in motion for Alabama, leaves Good the long back. Shula wants to throw. Gets it off to Bell, wide open. Al Bell, touchdown. Told you they would use him as a decoy, run him around out there for a while, and then bingo, you just saw it.
He is a big play guy, isn't he? Touched the ball 44 times last year, and 39 of them were for a first down or a touchdown. They sent him right down the middle. It looked like a two-deep zone by Alabama, and nobody even saw him coming. His speed may not put him in a class of its own, but where he is, it doesn't take long to call roll.
Tiffin trying to make it 110 straight points after, and he does at 6:57 to go in the first half. It is now 14-0.
Take another look from this level. Good protection for Shula. As Shula's locked on him right away. You see, he never looked at another receiver. He saw Bell clear the linebackers in the secondary without anybody even coming close. Take a look at Bell now. See if anybody at all even sees him. He's the second receiver in. They're in a zone, and once he gets in the seam, nobody's deep. And I'll guarantee you, once he gets back there, nobody's going to catch him. Big play guy, Albert Bell.
When me and my buddies head off to West Texas, nothing works like my Chevy S10 Maxi Cab 4x4. With Instatrack 4-wheel drive, the optional off-road suspension, it can take us to the wildest place in the West. The Terlingua Chili Cook-Off. Come and get it! Good, huh? Nothing works like a Chevy truck. Nothing.
U.S. Sprint, may I help you?
People are finding out how much they can save
10%
by signing up with U.S. Sprint during the biggest sale in long-distance history. It's like getting 2 months of long-distance free.
Yes, that's right.
2 months free. But the trick is, you gotta sign up now, because on October 31st, it's over. Call U.S. Sprint now. Find out about it.
U.S. Sprint, may I help you?
Next Saturday, Heisman candidate Vinny Testaverde leads #1 Miami against West Virginia. Or 6th-ranked Oklahoma takes on Texas. Coverage begins with college football today.
More fireworks in Columbia. Now a Todd Milliken touchdown for the Cornhuskers with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. And we're watching every play. Nebraska now leads South Carolina 27-24. Keith?
Well, that's a dandy they've got going down in Columbia, isn't it? Al Bell from Los Angeles. He's a senior. I don't think he'll have to look too far for a job next year.
No, sir. He's rated highly by all the scouts.
Tiffin will kick off. Wind at his back. Nails it well to the end zone and out of bounds. And it's going to be, it was inbounds when it cleared the plane of the goal line. It'll be a touchback to the plane.
But there is a flag, Keith.
Way back up on the 30-yard line.
Well, I can remember the conversation that you and I had with Lou Holtz in Notre Dame, and he said when Michigan State jumped on them early, they had that interception, ran it back for a touchdown, that his guys, you could feel it on the bench. There was some deflation.
Well, you got a hold call against Notre Dame. That's the first penalty of the ball game, and you've got just under 7 minutes to play in the first half. There are the officials we gave you earlier. Some of you, I'm sure, remember Chick Brenning. Of course, Charlie Horton was safety and tailback at Vanderbilt. All of them played their football in some place or other. It's a mixed crew from the Central Independent Association and the SEC.
Holding on the receivers. Penalties decline. It'll be Notre Dame's ball. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Alabama deciding that they'd just soon have them there rather than kick it again. That's what we have for you at halftime. Jim Lampley in New York. Al Trotwig with us here in Alabama. Tim Brandt will be into the fried chicken.
At the State Fair in Dallas, Texas.
6:57 to go in the first half. It's now 14-0 Alabama. And the Fighting Irish come up to Steve Berline back in at quarterback. Tom Monahan fullback. Mark Green tailback. Tim Brown wide man. And Berline drops it off for Green. And Mark's got a hole. And tucks it away. And takes on two Tiders up at the 41 and hangs on to it. Wayne Davis getting credit for the tackle. And it's first down Notre Dame.
Play was set up very nicely. See Berline play action and then just drops it out there, and already his linemen have gotten out in front of him. And anytime you can pull your people that quickly, and Byron Spruill got out there in a hurry and set the play up, then they just take it down the sidelines. Nicely done, Mark Green.
at the 41. First down for the Irish. Berline, option at the line.
He's got Brown.
Got Brown wide open. Tim Brown all the way down to the Alabama 27. First down. Chris Good, brother of Terry, and Kermit Kendrick were in the neighborhood, but they were giving him too much cushion.
Oh, he was looking to the right side. I didn't know if he was going to see Brown over there, but he did look back and he threw it, and he was wide open. They had used the wide receiver Jackson to clear things out, and then you see Brown will just slide back here now. And once he gets back into the zone, he's wide open.
Gain of 32 yards on the play. Irish on the Alabama 27. Trailing 14-0. Reggie Ward is in. Brown is out. Notre Dame goes to the wishbone set for the first time. Right it off to the fullback into the middle, Taylor. And no, it is Monahan. And from the 27 to the 24. Tom Monahan, a senior from Arcola, Illinois.
This is where Notre Dame really improved last week against Purdue. When they got down deep, they capitalized and got some points out of it. Remember, in the first couple of games, they were down inside the 20, and both their losses, as a matter of fact, they were down inside the 20 6 different times without getting any points.
5:25 to go in the first half. Double tight end, second down and 7. Tight end moved, and at the top of the picture, Andy Heck moved and got a flag from the linesman. Berline, of course, is protesting that his tight end is entitled to move. So let's see what the call is here for a moment. It is procedure against the Irish while the Alabama people decide on it. Let's check in with Al.
Well, Keith, it's absolutely horrifying in terms of heat down here. You can actually feel it come through the turf, and a minute ago it was 126. The sun went in, and now it's 120. But ABC Sports has taken care of me. They've given me my very own swimming pool down here, and I've got some local help filling it up. We'll put the chlorine in, and we'll see how that feels a little bit later. Boy, we can use it, I can tell you that.
The red elephant and Al having a time, huh? Ball comes back to the 29, where it is second down and 12. Chuck Lanza leads him over the ball with Milt Jackson back in along with Tim Brown. Monahan, the lone remaining back. Crowd getting into it as Berline drops the pass. Bennett looping around, couldn't get to him, and the pass is dropped by Tim Brown.
This is really frustrating for Notre Dame. They're killing themselves. They got down deep. They had a nice drive going. They set it up with a nice pass to Brown, and then they come back. The tight end moves. Well, Berline says he's entitled to. He cannot be moving when the snap is taking place. That's illegal procedure. So that's 5 yards. Then they throw the ball to Brown here. He drops it, and it brings up third and a taxi ride for a first.
At 4:49 to go in the first half. Mark Green comes out as a wide receiver, leaving Monahan the lone back. Irish now with 3 wide people. And again, that student section down in that corner of the end zone gets into it. Berline's pass is away, and a mix-up as Milt Jackson turned in. Berline threw out, and the pass is incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great play by Philip Brown. We talked about him earlier. He was coming from the backside, number 89. And he didn't get the sack, but he got a hurry, which was just as good as a sack because Berline had to unload the ball. He did it before the cut, and the pass wasn't even close.
And John Carney will come in now and kick into a slight breeze on a 46-yard field goal try. Dan Sorensen will hold it at the 36. On its way. No good. Wide left. You could see the wind take over the ball and just sort of knock it down and knock it left a little bit as John had the hook on it. And you got an Alabama player shaken up as time is out with 4:39 to play in the first half.
A man can spend years paying off an insurance policy and never reap its benefits.
Well, guess it's time to go.
We're gonna miss you, Grandma.
That's why the Equitable created Incentive Life. It lets you invest in a fund that's averaged 14.3% over the past 10 years. So a man will have something to enjoy.
Are you coming, Grandma?
Yes.
While there's still time for him to enjoy it. Incentive Life from the Equitable.
Fixing this water damage will cost $1,200. Could I have prevented it?
You could with Thompson's Water Seal.
This water damage is going to run $750. What would have stopped it?
Prevent water damage with Thompson's Water Seal. Simply brush Thompson's on wood, brick, or concrete, and it penetrates to form a barrier water can't get past, even when driven by 98-mile-per-hour winds.
This time, I'm going to protect my new deck with Thompson's Water Seal. A great defense against repair expense.
The top pitchers, the clutch hitters, baseball's best teams in a best-of-7 duel. The League Championship Series begins Tuesday night on ABC Sports.
In the final minute at Columbia, South Carolina's Gamecocks drove as far as the Nebraska 19-yard line, where Brian Siegler of the Cornhuskers picked off an interception, which has apparently sealed a hair-raising 27-24 victory for Nebraska. Still 31 seconds remaining, but the Huskers have the ball and are apparently home free. Keith?
Well, you never know when you travel halfway across the country. And I imagine it's pretty doggone hot up in Columbia, South Carolina. It's just been sizzling all across the southeast for over a week. First down for Alabama now from their own 29-yard line, leading 14-0. And Shula pitches to Humphrey, and he'll get to the 30 for a yard.
1 yard.
We've had two big plays for the Alabama scores. 66-yard touchdown run by Greg Richardson on a punt return. And then you had the 51-yard play, Al Bell catching a Mike Shula pass. Four minutes to go in the first half. Second down and 9. Shula back to throw. Gets his pass away to the sidelines for Bell. A good play by Brandy Wells, flying across to the sidelines to slap it away with his left hand. Outstanding play by Wells. That Nebraska-South Carolina score is now final. Nebraska winning it 27-24.
Just watch Wells. Wells is to the right of your screen. Here comes the pass to Bell. He has to lay out completely and bat it away. That's great hand-eye coordination. It's also tremendous body control to stay off Bell. Shula did telegraph the pass, however.
And it's third down and about 9. Shula sacked, fumbled the ball. Notre Dame has it. Alabama 11. Darrell Gordon knocked the ball loose for the Irish. I thought it was Matt Karras who covered it, Tim.
Mike Shula had no chance, though, Keith. He didn't see the pressure coming, and he certainly couldn't feel. Let's take a look at that play again. Shula's looking downfield, and he had a man open across the middle. It was his tight end. But watch Shula now. See, he's looking downfield. He has no clue that they're coming from behind. Boy, that's a good penetration and a good play by Darrell Gordon. The ball was loose, and they got on it quickly.
There's Robert Banks had got it. Defensive tackle, and the Irish with a golden opportunity now, trying to cash it in as Tim Brown carries from the 11 to the 9, 2 yards.
It is paramount that Notre Dame capitalizes on this turnover. If they have any chance to stay in the ball game, 14 points down, it's just getting hotter. The crowd is loud. Everything's against them. They haven't won on the road in 7 games.
It's Berline, Taylor, and Johnson in the backfield now for the Irish. Obviously, Tim Brown can be anywhere, either at the tailback or at a wide receiver. He lines up now out of the wishbone. Double tight end. And Berline fakes it. Rolls it out. Bennett's after him. Pass away. Knocked down in the end zone. Almost intercepted.
He's lucky it wasn't.
Britt Cooper and Greg Gilbert, linebacker and cornerback, both in on the defensive play for Alabama. Cooper, number 20.
Again, it was tons of pressure coming from Cornelius Bennett. Now watch. Here's the play action. And look at 97. Bennett. Boy, you can almost feel his breath on your neck. And then here comes Cooper and Gilbert right here. He's lucky that wasn't an interception. 2 red shirts back there. He tried to split the 2 and throw between them.
Milt Jackson comes back in at a wide spot for the Irish on 3rd down now from the 9. 3rd and 7 from the 9. Furline throws. Brown, touchdown, Notre Dame. Irish got a quick snap. Alabama's defensive people were not set. Freddie Robinson was one of those running around looking to pick up his man, and in the process, Tim Brown dragging across, got lost, and scored easily.
Jackson and Joel Williams on the left side. They took all the defenders that way, and then Brown, who lined up over there, came underneath, and nobody was home. He was by himself. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
And Carney now for the extra point try at 2:59 to go in the first half. It's good. So we've got ourselves a 14-7 ball game at Legion Field in Birmingham.
That's a confident builder, too. Joel Williams, 89. Milt Jackson, number 6, lined up on the left side. They went to the left and took all the red shirts. And see Brown crossing your screen, came underneath the linebackers, and nobody followed him out there. Nicely done. It was well set up. Here's Brown now. See, to your left of the screen, that's where everybody goes. Oh, you know what happened? Looked like Freddie Robinson got cut off, number 21.
He was all the way across on the other side of the
Brown
field.
And got cut off. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Who says you can't have 100% imported hops and a less filling beer? Old world aging and a less filling beer. Smooth super premium taste and a less filling beer. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
They say it takes a big computer company to build a big computer. Sure. Who else? But Goodyear said, "Wanna bet?" and built a supercomputer for NASA. Goodyear did? Yeah, the aerospace group. Goodyear's computer can add or subtract 6.5 billion times a second. It's one of the world's fastest computers. See what you can do when you don't listen to what they say. Goodyear.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Michelob Light, who says you can't have it all, and by Radio Shack, the computer experts.
Tim Brown, Dallas, Texas, gets the Irish on the scoreboard. And now they'll kick off to Alabama with Bobby Humphrey, the deep man. 2 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the first half. John Carney hooks it long and into the end zone, and Humphrey's not going to come with it. He didn't have a real handle on it, so he decided not to risk it.
Here's the touchdown again. Freddie Robinson was the guy who was covering Tim Brown, but he got cut off, ran into his own man, got tangled up with the linebackers, and Tim Brown just came free. He was over there looking to find out where Brown went. He couldn't find him.
Well, he should have stayed at home. If he'd have stayed at home, he'd have been where he should have been because he went running all the way across the field trying to find Brown. In the meantime, Notre Dame got the quick snap, and he was just caught dead.
Perkins called him right over, too, and spoke with him, told him what he was doing wrong, told him how to correct it.
All right, Alabama at the 20, first down. 14-7 ball game, and Kerry Good is upended by Mike Povileski. Mike was on the ground, but rolled over and got him as he went by.
Since the knee injuries to Kerry Good, it looks like he shortened his steps a little bit.
He has.
I'm not saying he protects the knee as much, but he certainly has cut down his stride.
More perhaps of a straight ahead runner now too. He's made that adjustment because he was wild and woolly when he first showed up. Alabama's only run for 28 yards so far in this game, though, as Bobby Humphrey wiggles in there for a couple of more yards out to about the 25, just over the 25. San Diego Chargers and the Seattle Seahawks from the Kingdome in Seattle next Monday on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Seahawks got upended. San Diego Chargers off to a slow start this year. But you never know about Thompson Company. They can roll it up on you. 3rd down and 4. Shula back. Dumps it off. This is Good. He's got a first down and then some as he gets it out to the 40-yard line. At 1:35 to go in the first half. And the clock now will stop at 1:39 actually as they move the chains.
14 yards.
Now the nickelback comes in for the Irish. George Streeter. Mike Haywood is playing today too, number 1. For the first time in a long time. Mike injured early on. And is just now rounding into form. Good defensive back. From the 40 now, first down, Alabama. Shula's going to stay in the air. Goes to the sidelines for Greg Richardson. Steps out of bounds at the 42. That ought to get a flag, and it does. Richardson is hit way well out of bounds by Troy Wilson and knocked hard into the bench. But the benches here are plastic, and they're quite light and no injury. That is a costly mistake by Troy Wilson.
That's just a mental error. I don't know how that could happen. Here's the play again. They sent both wide receivers down long on the outside on a fly pattern. And then he stops and comes back for the football. Now he's out of bounds right there, and here comes the hit. Look at this. He's out of bounds right there. Well, it was close, but he's still a yard out of bounds when he was hit. That is a costly penalty.
On the defense, first down.
Well, it goes from the 42 to the 27, so it's Alabama now camped on the Notre Dame 27-yard line with 1:12 to go, and they're getting within Van Tippen's range, certainly. Remember that dramatic 52-yarder against Auburn last year? This is Bobby Humphrey running reverse with Al Bell. Bell coming around, 2 men in front of him. Inside the 20, inside the 15. Gets to the sidelines, out of bounds at about the 12. Mike Povileski finally brought him out.
He scored on the reverse against Cincinnati last year. He almost broke this one. Watch Bell when he runs. He explodes. Here he comes now and takes the handoff. He becomes jingle joints. You can't read his body movements to tell where he's going. Look at him, and he follows his blocking against Richardson up in front of him, and then finally he's taken down, but he almost took it all the way.
Make it the 11 of Notre Dame. First down, Alabama. 1:04 to go, first half. Good and Humphrey now. Split back set. Humphrey in motion. Shula passing. Touchdown, Howard Cross.
They call him High C, Howard Cross. He's 6'6", 240. This is only the second time he's caught a pass this year. The tight end, they just sent him straight down the middle. Tried to split the seam in the zone, and he did. Boy, you don't watch him. If he hadn't caught many passes, you don't pay much attention, and that's what happens.
Van Tippen, high snap, extra point, good, but again, almost not. Boy, he hooked that thing low and hard, just barely got it in. He's now at 1:11 and 59 seconds to go in the first half, and here's Alabama.
At the University of Alabama, bringing out the star quality that's in everyone is our proudest tradition.
In the last 4 Alabama plays, Good for 15, Richardson 18-yard reception, a 15-yard penalty, Bell on a 16-yard reverse, and then 11 yards to Cross for the touchdown, and it's 21-7. Alabama again leading by 14.
2 key plays, of course, the penalty. It was not flagrant. He was just, I think, over-aggressive and tried to push him out of bounds, but he was already there. So that is a flag. Good call. Then the touchdown. Howard Cross, only the second catch all year for him. You forget about it. You forget he's there.
Well, that's one of the trademarks of Perkins' offense, though. He'll lull you into that, like Bell. Keeps running Bell around, and all of a sudden, bingo, they got him, and the same on the tight end. The kickoff goes to Tim Brown. And Tim shakes two back there, and it gets it out across the 20, close to the 25.
He returns 17 yards.
Clock is stopped now at 53 seconds to go in the first half.
They go into the hurry-up offense. That means they probably have 4 plays that they run in this type of situation. They have to get out of bounds. They work on this every single practice day at the end of their workout. And they have 53 seconds to go a long, long way.
From the 24, just over the 24, both teams with 3 timeouts. Berline back to throw. They get him. He bounces the ball. Or did he catch it?
On one hop.
I thought he caught it on one hop, too. But it was Philip Brown and Cornelius Bennett. The 2 outside linebackers were climbing all over Steve Berline as he was trying to deliver it.
See, that's just as good as a sack, maybe even better in this situation, because they forced him to hurry. That's not a sack. Give him a baggie. He got it away quickly. Again, it's the speed we talked about at the top of the show, Keith. It's evident. Alabama is far superior in team speed.
Andrzak comes in now for Notre Dame at quarterback. Quarterback draw. Kerry Andrzak is up across the 30 and down at the 31, 3 yards short of the first down. And 38 seconds to go, and Notre Dame now will spend one of its 3 timeouts. Ray Perkins, Lou Holtz, matching wits at Legion Field in Birmingham here on ABC. And let's, for a moment, visit Jim Lempley.
The American League batting race looks like this. Wade Boggs not playing today. In the first game of a doubleheader at Fenway Park, Don Mattingly went 3 for 5. So Mattingly has now crept to within 5 points, 352. Boggs holding at 357. One more game to play today for Mattingly. And then presumably with Boggs not playing again tomorrow, the Yankees will finish it up tomorrow in Fenway Park. Meanwhile, Ohio State, after a scoreless second half, has held on to beat Illinois 14-zip in Columbus, and the Buckeyes pull their record to even on the season. Now let's go back to Keith Jackson.
That's a tough decision, and Wade Boggs, you can't even, I don't think of going into the playoffs against California. And the playoffs, American League, start next Tuesday here on ABC. The National League will start next Wednesday. Al Michaels and Jim Palmer with the Americans. Tim McCarver now get together over in Houston. But you've got to have Boggs going into the playoffs, and yet you want the man to have a chance to win the batting championship too. But you've got to cure that hamstring if you can.
I'm sure he wants that title too. Could be financially rewarding for him. I'm sure there's a clause in their incentive.
It is 3rd down now, and they need close to 4 yards. Berline throws the ball over Bennett to Mark Green. Green gets away down the sidelines for an Irish first down. It's Andrzak, not Berline. And you've got 32 seconds remaining as the clock is stopped on the out-of-bounds play. It's interesting that Lou Holtz has decided to alternate his quarterbacks on possessions today.
I think it's also interesting the way Perkins is using his linebackers. That was Holloman that made that tackle. And he is, if I'm not mistaken, the 8th linebacker thus far they've had in the first half.
A day as hot as this, you're going to use as many people as you can. Keep them fresh. Fatigue is oftentimes responsible for injuries. Anthony Johnson lines up in the I-back position for Notre Dame now. Andrzak fakes to him. Deep drop. Pass is thrown up, trying to set up a screenplay for Johnson, but it was too slow to develop and too much pressure, and Andrzak had to throw a wounded balloon up there, and it just didn't work.
Willie Wyatt was the guy applying the pressure, and boy, when Alabama starts coming toward you, they come in a hurry. They close on you.
They do have that straight line attitude, don't they?
Well, you know, they come at you. They're in a bad mood when they get there. And all their linebackers run 4-4-4-5.
2nd down and 10 for the Irish up on the 41. Andrzak slips. Got some room now, and he's got Brown over there, and Brown has the ball for a first down at the Alabama 34 in front of Britton Cooper. So Andrzak's Foot speed figures in that play, his agility.
Alabama was bringing 6 men on the pass rush. They loosened up. They only had 2 deep in the zone. And it's just, look at this. It's 2 guys down deep. They just run a cross pattern. Tim Brown goes outside. Now he's wide open. The pass was right there. It was well thrown under a lot of pressure. Still 18 seconds left. You're in Kearney's range right now. But they have really a chance for 2 more offensive plays here.
From the Alabama 34 on first down, Andrzak gets good protection this time. Goes underneath to Joel Williams, the tight end, and he's got 8 yards. They stop the clock again with another timeout and only 10 seconds remaining in the first half. The Irish have 1 timeout remaining. So they actually can go with 1 more play, and obviously you would think they'd throw it in the end zone, call a time, and still have time, I think, probably to get Kearney into the ball game for a field goal try.
Well, you only have that 1 timeout left. Right. If you take a play, there's a gamble there that the clock could run out. You do want to come away with points here. Trailing 21-7, it's paramount that you get on the board with at least 3.
But it appears their intent is to go ahead and run 1 more play. And if you're going to do that, one would think you would probably throw it into the end zone. 21-7, Alabama leading. Another thing to tuck away in your mind as you lean back for your halftime respite here is Alabama has been a second-half ball club. 21 points here in the first half is one of their biggest points production of any first half they have had this season.
This has to be a quick developing play. They can't toy around. They've got to get it to the sideline or the end zone.
It is 2nd down and 3 from the Alabama 26. Braxton Banks is in the backfield. If you got a gimmick play, this might be the place. Pressure from the backside. Andrzak steps away from it, throws for Milt Jackson. He's inside the 10 and knocked out of bounds at the 5.
With 3 seconds left.
Now you got to go for the 3 here. Or will Lou bow his neck and decide I'm going to stick it in the end zone.
No, he's sending
Kearney's coming. So it works well as they send Jackson on a crossing pattern. And Milt does a good job with it, getting it down just inside the 5. John Kearney is out with the tee, puts it down on the 12. It's a 22-yard field goal try. He missed earlier from 46, wide left. Sorensen holds. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is high, and good. And time has run out. So after the first half of play, Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama 21, and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame 10.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll always be glad that he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to. Brute, it smells like a man.
Great.
Well, the excitement just won't stop at Arby's World Series Winners Game, where everyone's winning food, cash.
By Hayes Microcomputer Products Incorporated. Say yes to the future with Hayes. And by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company.
We're back in Birmingham. Let's take a quick look at some of the highlights out of the first half, and there were many in a 21-10 Alabama lead. Alabama on the board first with this play, a punt return by Greg Richardson of 66 yards.
Keith Richardson steps up. You'll see him right here now. He gains 5 yards up and goes under the containment, and once he gets outside, they have a wall set up. Now, he missed spring ball to compete in track, competed in the SEC championships in the 200-meter and 400-meter relay. He has 9.3 speed. Tremendous return artist.
Alabama made it 14-0 on this play. Mike Shula to Al Bell.
Bell is the big play specialist. He averages almost 10 yards a catch. As a matter of fact, and this does bear repeating, last year he came up with 36 first downs or touchdowns out of 41 passes.
Tim Brown here will get lost in the Alabama secondary, come drifting across the middle and go in untouched for the Irish score.
Richardson, the defensive back, just got tied up with the secondary and couldn't follow him across the middle.
That made it 14-7, but this play, Shula to Cross, makes it 21-7 Alabama.
See, now this is a guy you forget about, the tight end. They've only thrown him one pass all year. This one's a touchdown.
And John Carney kicked a 22-yard field goal, and that's where we are. We're ready to go with the second half, 21-10 Alabama. And the Tide will be kicking off to Notre Dame and Tim Brown. Tiffin hits it high to the goal line for Brown. Fumble. Alabama's got it. Second effort on the 20-yard line. It's a turnover, and Alabama drops on the ball at the Notre Dame 18. Desmond Holloman.
What do you want?
Nothing fancy about it. He came up, took it on the right side. So many times extra effort gets you into trouble because then you're relaxing trying to get the leg drive. The arms relaxed, the ball came loose, and it's Alabama's ball. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the 6 right away.
Make it the 19 of Notre Dame. First down. They come out with Good and Humphrey behind Mike Shula. Richardson and Bell wide. Go to Humphrey. Up the middle he goes. Penalty flags flying all over the field as he goes to the 10.
On the play.
Flags were thrown in the area where they usually call holding, offensive holding. It is. We told you that Notre Dame is tied for the lead in every statistical area, or does lead, including penalties. One of those penalties was critical in the last touchdown before the half ended for Alabama. Personal foul. The rest of it, as we said, was Richardson on the long play, and then the 2 touchdown passes. Mike Shula, 6 for 11, 2 touchdowns, 107 yards.
That is the first Alabama penalty of the ball game, too, as the ball comes back now to the 29-yard line. And so it is first down and 20 for the Tide. Shula on 1st and 20, wants to throw it. Pass is underthrown, but it's a sliding, diving catch by Al Bell. Good at about the 22-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards on the play.
Watch Bell. He drives off the line so quickly, you have to respect his speed. So now you move off. You can't even see the defensive back in the picture. That's how soft he's playing. That's how much room he's given Bell. And then Bell drives back toward the Alabama line of scrimmage to make contact with the ball. And he takes it right off the turf. Good catch.
Second down and about 13. From the 22, Shula looks to throw. Gets it away, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. He had Howard Cross, his tight end, all alone down the middle of the field. Once the linebacker made the contact with Cross, he lost him.
I'll tell you exactly what happens, though. Shula now, you'll see him, he does a pump. This is a pump and go. It's designed for Bell all the way. There it is. All right, now he reloads. Bell is going for the end zone. All right, now you can see the tight end right there is wide open. At least he's got a couple yards on the linebacker. But this was for Bell right away. It was a hitch and go. And then Shula just threw it away. That wasn't incomplete. He threw it out there purposely to get it out of bounds and throw it away. He is a heady quarterback.
Brings up third down and 13. Just starting the second half of play. 21-10, Alabama. Timeout called. Mike, looking around, did not like what he had, didn't like the people he had, didn't like the play was called, so he spins a timeout to talk about it.
You're reaching deep inside you, things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Be all that you can be.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Find your future in the Army.
You're invited to a groundbreaking. The new Nissan Pathfinder 4x4. Now there's Pathfinder's off-road ruggedness, 3-liter V6 power, 235 tires, and extra long wheelbase. Now there's Pathfinder's civilized ride, cabin-adjustable coil spring suspension, and rich interior. Nissan Pathfinder. Now the adventure begins. The breakthrough is Pathfinder. The name is Nissan.
Legion Field is filled today, as you would expect for this ball game, one of the premier matchups of this entire season. Right now, Alabama leading 21-10. They're looking at 3rd down and 13 at the Notre Dame 22, trying to cash in the turnover by Tim Brown. They send Bell and Richardson now to the bottom of the picture and put Humphrey in motion to the boundary side. Shula's pass for Bell, touchdown.
Shula does not have quick feet. He does not possess a Testaverde type arm, but he is terrific in the reading defenses as well as anybody. And Albert Bell, he's quicker than Gossip. That was a post pattern. Just took it straight down the middle. Watch this. Drives him off again with that explosion. Now cuts back into the post, and he's wide open.
Third touchdown pass as Van Tippen comes in. He's got 112 extra points in a row, and the Alabama place kickers over the year now have 171 in a row.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures. Which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses. One person at a time. Cigna, personalized service to business around the world.
You know, the weirdest things happen to me, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I mean, here I am stocking up for Halloween. I got my steaks, got my ribs. Then when I ask the stock boy where the Coors Light is stacked, he points me to the Coors and Coors Light Halloween display, and I'm on it. Whoa, it was like deja vu. Whoa, it was like deja vu. Look for it where you buy beer. I shop here because they slash prices. There goes another one. Happy Halloween, darling.
Next Saturday, Heisman candidate Vinny Testaverde leads #1 Miami against West Virginia. Or 6th-ranked Oklahoma takes on Texas. Coverage begins with college football today.
Jim Lampley in New York. Auburn, 7th rated, beats Western Carolina 55-6. 2 Auburn touchdowns scored by defensive tackles. So this will be the happiest night of the year for Nate Hill and Malcolm McCary. Meanwhile, Stanford has gone in front of San Diego State 7-3 on a touchdown pass from John Pay to Tom Henley. Keith?
Stanford Cardinal trying to get off one of their best starts in years and years. Like they might. San Diego State, Todd Santos, though, good passing quarterback. That ball is hooked toward the corner and deep into the end zone and will not be returned. It'll come out to the 20-yard line where the Fighting Irish will have it first down. Shula's last 9 passes, 7 out of 9, 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. The yardage total is not terribly imposing, but what it has produced is. There are his overall stats for the ball game.
Shula, the left-hander, he and his coach, you know, they believe they've got a legitimate shot at the national championship. Certainly the SEC title is one of their goals, but they'll be disappointed if they don't win it all this year.
Steve Berline opens at quarterback with Mark Green and Pernell Taylor in the backfield behind him. Brown and Miller are the wide people. And the crowd immediately gets into it. They take it inside with Taylor. He bounces off the stack and gets the football out to the 30 before Cornelius Bennett brings him down.
This is a critical drive, Keith. I think Notre Dame has to come back and score, or they can kiss it goodbye this afternoon.
Taylor that time with a good second effort as he bounced off that stack and got outside for the first down, giving the Irish a little breathing room. 13:20 to go, 3rd quarter. They go back to Taylor, and the well was dry that time. He gets a yard, that's all.
Cole made the tackle. They made 1 yard.
Second down and 9. Erline losing the handle, fighting his way to the bottom and covering the ball.
They have to pick up the pace. They've got to start doing some things. They've got to use some motion to run some of those linebackers out of the middle and position the defense the way they want it. Now here in the middle of the series, Andrzak comes back into the ball game and Berline comes out.
Doesn't seem terribly pleased about it either.
Number 2.
Third and 10 from the 30. Andrzak, Bennett's after him. Bennett's got a hold of him. Penalty flag is thrown. The referee is right back there with him. I think one of the linesmen may have thrown that flag thinking that Bennett had a face mask. But Alabama's now applauding the flag, so apparently it will have something to do
On the play.
with John Askin. I think number 72 was involved a bit.
Well, the ball was thrown that way, and it was thrown to Askin.
Yep.
I don't know. He didn't catch it, though, so I don't understand. We'll have to...
Well, the penalty flag was thrown before the ball was thrown, actually.
Pernell Taylor was in the neighborhood, so
there are 2
it was
fouls.
the receiver.
Yeah, I thought so. 2 fouls.
We have illegal touching of the pass on the offense by an ineligible receiver.
John Askin.
That's Askin.
We also have face mask
Bennett got it.
on the defense. We have a replay.
So Cornelius Bennett did get a hold of the face mask. Looked like it, but I
Number
wasn't
97, that's Bennett. Now watch him come in. He says his favorite tackle is to come from an angle and take somebody by the neck and whip him down. He said he loves the clothesline. You saw his hand on the face mask. He did get it off. It was incidental, wasn't flagrant. But you'll see right here, his left hand grabs the face mask of Andrzak and slides right off. Doesn't slide off that quickly, though.
No, it didn't. That got the first flag, and then came the second flag with the ball bouncing off John Askin. And so they'll replay it, and it's third down and 10.
Well, I tell you what, Bosworth has gotten a lot of publicity, but I'd take Cornelius Bennett up against anybody in the country.
Not bad. 28-10, Alabama leading. Notre Dame trying to untrack it here in the third quarter as Andrzak goes back to throw, runs away from Bennett, and takes off. He got his first down as he runs the ball out to the 47-yard line, and Philip Brown finally bulldogged him up there. Andrzak's running ability for the second time in the game pays off.
He's got quick feet. You can see he's got good stride. Now, watch it. He's got good vision. He's watching his blockers. He's cutting in and out. Almost lost the football and then tucked it away just before he hit the ground.
First down, Notre Dame at their own 47. Time remaining third quarter, it's 11:25. Bennett drifts into an inside position and comes firing up the middle, hits the quarterback just as he pitches. Mark Green is knocked down short of the 45 by Greg Gilbert. Again, watch number 97, what he does on this play. Greg Gilbert is also shaken up on the play right now. He's down for a moment as he went down underneath the players. So Greg is banged up, holding his head right now.
Looks like his eye, Keith. It looks like he might have gotten poked in the eye or something.
But you know, Bennett that time went to an inside backer position and then fired right up the middle and had his arms around the quarterback when he pitched.
It's what we talked about prior to the game. They are moving him. They're flip-flopping him from side to side. They're moving him to the middle. That time he just came through. You know what? The week off, I think, really helped Alabama not only get ready for the people that were banged up and get them healthy again, but it also helped them prepare for all these formations. It's not that it's not that Notre Dame does so many things and so runs so many plays, but they do it under so many disguises and out of so many formations.
Now here's Al.
Keith, you know they call this great group of kids down here the Alabama $1 Million Band. Well, let's just see if they live up to their word. Who's got money? Let's have it. Let's have it. Got a buck? Got a buck? Okay. We got a little bit to go, but we're off to a good start. Keith, in all ways, these guys live up to their name. Maestro?
Catherine Scott Calhoun is one of the first ladies to be a director of bands in the country. Boy, she works. I mean, they pay their dues, those kids. They put on a marvelous show at halftime and prior to the game. All right, Greg Gilbert's up now and trotting off the field. He's all right.
Cornelius Bennett, Keith says that he admires Lawrence Taylor of the Giants. He plays like Lawrence Taylor. It looks like him a little bit, the way he runs to the football.
Ball is short of the 45 now. Loss on that play. Make it second down and almost 13 for Notre Dame. Andrzejczyk trying to hand it off inside.
Incomplete.
He pitched the ball just enough to make it an incomplete forward pass. It was almost a handoff.
But that's the beauty of that shuffle pass. The shuffle pass is run blocking short, but it is still a forward pass, and if he drops it, it's not a fumble, it's an incompleted pass.
Third down and close to 13 now. Reggie Ward is in. Brown is out. Berline to throw. Gets away from Jarvis. Oh! Cornelius Bennett knocked the ball loose, but his hand was going forward. It is an incomplete forward pass. Bennett traveled about 30 yards that time to get his hands on the quarterback.
He is phenomenal. He told me yesterday he's still not in playing shape because he's recovered from hamstring pulls. But, you know, Andrzejczyk thinks he's away from everybody. And Bennett just never quits. He keeps coming. The ball was coming forward. It is an incompleted pass, but he went at least 30 yards to get there.
Dan Sorensen into punt now on fourth down. 3 punts today, 39, 39, 48. Hitting it into a slight breeze. Gets a good spin on it, though. Greg Richardson at the 10. And caught from behind by Mike Kovaleski, who is all over the field himself today. 45-yard punt into the wind by Sorensen. And Alabama will start from its 17. Make it 18.
Keith, I can't help but think that Notre Dame has to force a turnover here, or it's gonna be over.
Today's real estate investments come in all shapes and sizes, but the tax laws have changed, and shaping your real estate investments depends on having up-to-date knowledge. That's why Century 21 offices are introducing Investor Days with investor workshops and this free booklet to give you timely information that could influence the shape of your financial future. Don't miss Century 21 Investor Days, October 6th through the 12th.
All over the country, people are learning about the new Nissan 200SX. They're examining the many important design changes on the outside. But more, they're experiencing the one important change on the inside. The new fuel-injected overhead cam V6. It's America's new super coupe. And it's just waiting to change your attitude. The quality and power is 200SX. The name is Nissan.
Saturday, someone reopens the pass. Blackmail.
I'm recommending a hearing to have your private investigator's license revoked.
But Spencer's out to close it.
You can't have my name.
Well, many of you will see West Virginia's Mountaineers against top-rated Miami next week, and you're going to see a team whose pride was stung for the third time today as they lost in Blacksburg, Virginia to Virginia Tech. The Hokies with a goal line stand stopped West Virginia on 1st and goal at the Hokie 6 with 7 minutes to go. And then, in front of the Virginia Tech University officials whom he has sued for $3.5 million, the players carried Bill Dooley of Virginia Tech off the field. Keith?
I imagine Bill felt pretty good about that, didn't he? Wait a minute. What is this? Say yes. Let's get on with the game. Here comes Shula now. First down at the 18-yard line. Up the middle goes Bo Wright. And Bo Wright, a 215-pound junior from Pritchard, carrying the ball for the first time in the game. I think he's carried it. He was in previously, but did not carry the ball, and he blew out of there at that time for 15 yards, just past, make it 11 yards for a first down.
Notre Dame was in the right defense. Brandy Wells was right there. He just didn't make the tackle.
Alabama probably would like to sit on that ground now and grind it out if they can and kill off some of this clock, leading 28-10 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shula, very slow play. Everything was messed up. Nothing was timed right that time. And the whistles and flags will stop it. Procedure call against the Tide. Along the front, Alabama's been substituting some, but not as liberally as perhaps they would like on a hot day like this. It's Jeff Bentley, Andy Anderson, Mike Zuga, Terrell Chapman, and Danny Cash at second unit line. And they're not a day at the beach either. They weigh in at 280, 275, 240, and 240. So they're all big, and that second unit is very, very young.
I couldn't believe it yesterday when I saw Joe King. He's 298 pounds. And he had a fat check, you know, where they weigh in water and determine how much body fat you have for your ideal weight. He's right at his ideal weight. No body fat at all. It's all muscle.
All right, Humphrey goes in motion. Looks like they've called the same play on 1st and 15. Up the middle goes Bo Wright again. And Bo moves it from the 23 to the 30 for a pickup of 7 yards.
Keith, Alabama has not played badly today, especially on defense. They have allowed only 98 yards rushing for Alabama.
Notre
Dame does not play that badly on defense.
Alabama 30.
Bell and Greg Payne now come wide on this play. Bell is the inside man. Shula pitches the ball back to Bobby Humphrey. Humphrey has to turn it back inside because the lane outside was fully closed, and Mike Griffin is waiting for him there and puts him on the ground at the 31-yard line. Let's update the heat factor on the field now with Al.
Well, Keith, it's a happy report. The sun is dipping in the Birmingham sky right now. We've got a nice breeze blowing across the field. It's so much cooler than the first half. Even though a check of the field level thermometer just revealed a 100-degree reading, it feels about 85 or 90 or so. Very, very comfortable.
Right, that's good news because fatigue sets in that fourth quarter with the kind of heat we had early on in the day. 3rd down and 7. Shula pitches it outside to Humphrey. Got him out there one-on-one, but that's a very good open field tackle by Troy Wilson to stop him short of the first down. So in comes the punting team for the Tide.
Troy Wilson has gotten better every week. He's playing more aggressively. The open field tackle, he stays up high and doesn't take the leg fakes, the limp legs that the running backs give him.
Chris Moore to punt. Got most of that one, didn't he? Knocks it all the way back to the 15-yard line where Troy Wilson gets a block on the corner and comes back to the 35. 49-yard punt by Chris Moore. 7:28 to go in the third quarter.
Chester Braggs, made the tackle.
Starting Tuesday night here on ABC, the American League playoffs. Best of 7 matching the California Angels and the Boston Red Sox. And then on Wednesday night here on ABC, the National League will start from Houston as the Astros host the New York Mets. Play 2 in Houston, move on to New York in the National League. They start on the east side in the American League playoff. First down, Andrzejczyk gives the ball away to Hiawatha Francisco, who has finally gained reasonable health and is back in uniform. And his first carry since coming back from extended injury is not particularly effective. He lost 1.5 yards.
Hiawatha, Nahomia, Nokomis, Francisco. That's 31 letters, 17 consonants, and 14 vowels. And he's had one bad knee, and that has kept him slowed down a little bit. But he's back now.
And he is the 10th Irish back to carry the ball today. Andrzejczyk hands it inside. And the inside game, which was reasonably available earlier to Notre Dame, seemingly has been shut down now by Alabama. Monahan tried that time and just got nothing out of it to speak of. He got about 1 yard. So the Irish are looking at 3rd and 9. And back comes Bennett. Bennett out the first 2 plays to take a breather. Philip Brown leaves the field and Cornelius is back. time called here by the Irish. So each team has spent a timeout here in the third quarter. 6:19 to go, and Alabama leading by 18.
And unfortunately, that's the weather picture for tonight.
Roger is a weatherman. He knows the difference between little storms and big storms. And recently, when he saw a big one coming, the first place he went was his Honda generator dealer.
Hey, you're the weatherman. I need a real good generator.
And by the time the storm hit, Roger was prepared. The Honda generator, because you never know what the weather will bring.
Billy D. Williams talks about having a good time.
When it comes to having a good time, I've got it down to a science. First, you get yourself into the right clothes. And then you get Colt 45. And make sure you got enough for you and that someone special. And then you get yourself to a good time place. The rest is easy.
That's the power of Colt 45.
Hello, hello, hello.
The top pitchers, the clutch hitters, baseball's best teams in a best-of-7 duel. The League Championship Series begins Tuesday night on ABC Sports.
You know, the Pac-10's kind of a crazy league. UCLA has won 3 championships in the last 4 years, but today, for the 5th straight year, they began their conference schedule without winning. Arizona State has its first victory ever over the Bruins, a 16-9 win in the Rose Bowl. The only touchdown in the game, a Jeff Van Raphorst to Bruce Smith pass. That ended just moments ago, Keith.
Both of those Arizona schools, I think, got pretty good football teams this year. All right, it's 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9, and Berline is back in at quarterback for Notre Dame out of the shotgun. Crowd getting into it here, making as much noise as possible as Berline loads up. Intercepted. And picked off by Freddie Robinson. Berline had very good protection for a long time. Then time ran out as he tried to force the ball.
Again, it was excellent pressure by the defensive line. Forced him to hurry up. He threw the out pattern. That was picked off against Michigan State. Returned for a touchdown. Again, Freddie Robinson just reads Reggie Ward. Now here comes the ball. Now you'll see him react immediately. And he steps in front, makes the interception.
3rd Notre Dame turnover, 4th down. Was coming up, and the Irish trying to deliver on 3rd and long, trying to force the pass. It didn't work. Here's the reverse the other way. Second time Bell has run the play today, and he's loose. And Al Bell carries the football inside the Notre Dame 15-yard line before Mike Haywood finally got in. Bell ran a reverse to the left side in the second quarter. In the 3rd quarter, he goes the other way with it.
Watch him now. He went in motion again, same type thing. Brought the linebackers over that side. And Shula throws a block to the left of your screen. Takes down 2 players. Now Bell is directing traffic. Oh, he's fast. 6 feet, 170-pound All-American. Tough body, soft hands, great instincts.
And it's 1st down Alabama at the Irish 14-yard line. Again, trying to cash in a turnover. Shula now goes back under center. He started to call timeout. Then he went back under center, realizing he'd already spent 1 timeout here, and he didn't want to spend another, so he stepped back in there and ran the play anyway. Robert Banks is a little slow to get up, and you got a penalty flag.
Ray Perkins puts his hands in the air. He says, what's going on out there? Let's get together.
It's against Alabama.
Wants to talk to the official. Ray Perkins wants to find out what's taking place down there.
On the offense, still 1st down.
25-second clock ran out on him. Shula started to walk away from center and then went back under center and called the play. He just didn't want to spend that second time out. But the ball is now back at the 19. And on 1st and 15, they give it to Bobby Humphrey, and again, whistles have stopped it. We played that first half in a hurry, but the third quarters turned out to be pretty long as Alabama now gets stinged with a procedure call.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Still first down.
Hot day, you get a little tired, and concentration becomes a factor. And your top 10 scorers of the day. Almost a shocker in there. But Nebraska came on late to win over South Carolina. It's 1st and 20 now for Alabama. Ball's back to the 24. Shula shovels it ahead to Bo Wright. And Bo Wright gets to the 21 where Mike Griffin greets him, senior from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Second down from the 21. Shula drops. Bell's over on the side, has the ball, one man to beat. Can't do it. That is a very good open field tackle by Brandy Wells. I'll tell you right now, trying to bring Al Bell down in the open fields like trying to coil a cold hose on a December morning. You just can't get a hold of it.
Oh, a cold hose on a December morning.
Gain is down to the 12-yard line.
You're right about Bell, though. He has those fast twitch muscle fibers we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. But again, you stay high and you read him. He got down around his ankles, though, and held on.
On 3rd down and 8. They send Humphrey to the boundary, and Shula drops. Shovels the ball ahead, and the ball is rolling around loose. It's an incomplete forward pass, and in comes Van Tiffin, the place kicker for Alabama. Van Tiffin with 112 consecutive extra points. He holds just virtually every Alabama record involving the foot and the football, including 7 of the longest field goals in the school's history.
You know, he never practices extra points in practice. He says kicking an extra point is nothing. It's like a layup in basketball. So why bother with it? Go back and get the important stuff.
Well, he's just barely skinned 2 through today. This is a 29-yard field goal try. Missed it. Well, how do you do? He was 6 out of 6 on the season. Now he is 6 out of 7. And for a moment at least, probably reality will set in. It looked like the snap was all right. Looked like the hold was all right. But he just hooked it out of there.
Here's Van Tiffin. Now, the last time Alabama missed an extra point was September of 1981, and he doesn't miss many field goals either. This one, though, he watched it, he was concerned, and he knew it was off as soon as it left his foot. He's as good as they come, though, Van Tiffin. We saw him hit that 52-yarder to win the game against Auburn with no time on the clock last year.
Andrzak is the quarterback for the Irish now as they take over at their own 20, trailing 28-10. And Andrzak dumps the ball off outside to Mark Green, ducks under a couple of Alabama tacklers, and gets a couple of yards on the play. He was in posture of losing as many as 5 yards, but comes up limping after being hit.
That was Cornelius Bennett who missed him. You don't see that very often. Cornelius Bennett. They call him Biscuit.
Well, you get a little infatuated with that clotheslining business or tackling the upper body, and sometimes you'll get burned doing it when somebody steps underneath you. 2nd down and 8. Andrzak optioned off to his fullback. Now he's got a peck of trouble. Throws an incomplete pass up the field. Anthony Johnson out of the backfield was the only eligible receiver he could find.
Intended for Johnson.
Derek Slaughter, number 65, had Andrzejak in his sights. And Terry, rather than risk a sack and a 15-yard loss, dumping the ball upfield incomplete. Now Anthony Johnson comes wide to the bottom of the picture on 3rd and long. Andrzejak, little quick pop to Johnson. Johnson is taken down immediately by Freddie Robinson, and it's called an incomplete forward pass. He didn't hold on as he went down.
I can't remember the last time I saw a cornerback read anything as quickly as he did. I mean, as soon as Andrzejak even looked at that side, Robinson made his break and came up and was on Johnson's back the same time the ball got there.
Sorensen is in to punt now. His last one was a good one, 45 yards. 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Pretty good kick by Sorensen inside the 40, 38 Richardson. They overrun him a little bit, but following troops get him and put him down at 38. And let's meet the superfan now with Al.
Keith, his name is Sandy Leeds. He's from Yonkers, New York. It's amazing he comes to every single Alabama game home on the road. That's a long commute. You've been dubbed the super fan. That's quite an honor.
Yes, it certainly is. I'm a little hoarse because I'm sort of happy today. I've been doing some yelling.
Now, Sandy's also been named an honorary Southerner by the folks down here. Say something with that kind of an accent for me.
I'm glad to be talking to you all.
Very good, Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip back home.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Keith.
We're going to have to send him to school.
Y'all come back now, yeah?
Here's the pitch to Humphrey. Cuts it back against the grain, finds daylight, and crosses midfield and picks up a first down at the Notre Dame 48-yard line.
15 yards.
Humphrey is the team's leading rusher. They give it to him about 15 times a game. He averages over 5 yards per carry, and that's reliability. Tremendous instincts as a runner. He's got that good vision we talk about. Truly a gifted athlete. The sprinter speed, and last year became the first freshman ever at Alabama to go over 100 yards rushing 2 consecutive games.
Inside, Bo Wright working with the ball. He just kept on wiggling around, and people kept sliding off of him, and he gets inside the 40 to about the 39, and he gained 9 yards on that carry. Minute and 40 now to go in the 3rd quarter, and Alabama's in control of the ball game right now. They are dominating, they are dictating the tempo.
Stonebreaker, make the tackle.
Shula outside, Bell set up the screen for him, gets 1 block, and gets down just short of the 30, where James Bobb, a senior from Port Arthur, Texas, got him. If Bell had been able to get past Bobb, he might still be going.
Well, that Alabama offense is set up that way to get Jelks and Humphrey and Bell, and even Richardson, get them one-on-one as often as they can and let them utilize that tremendous speed and that running ability. That flanker screen that time put a blocker in front of him, and it was fairly... Well, it was a great defensive play to take him down for one thing.
Clay Whitehurst, the wide receiver out there with him, did his job, too. He took his man down. First down. Shula's pass intercepted. Bad pass, overthrown, intended for Humphrey, picked off by Mike Haywood. Haywood with a big return. Was finally run down from behind at the 40-yard line. Mike had some pressure on the play, but it was kind of a wounded goose he threw up there, wasn't it?
It looks like he was trying to get it up to high C, his tall, tight end. No, it wasn't either.
Nope.
It was Humphrey out there, and he just overthrew him. Threw behind him and over him.
Haywood with a good return gives Notre Dame good field position at the 40.
Look at
33
Richardson.
seconds.
Richardson coming up behind him. Oh, almost took his head off.
Andrzejak stays in there at quarterback with Johnson and Taylor behind him. Tim Brown is the wide man to the bottom of the picture, and Andrzejak coming down on the option, goes outside to Johnson, gets a good block from Tim Brown, and crosses midfield and fights his way on down to about the Alabama 46. I'm telling you, we're going to hear a lot from him before his playing career is done. Probably as a fullback.
Ricky Thomas made the tackle.
Notre Dame is not exactly loaded right now with running backs. Clock running at 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Andrzejczak on the option, runs back the other way and turns fumbles the football and a scramble on it. Notre Dame keeps it. Andrzejczak fighting for what he could get out of it. Seemingly was going to go down behind the line of scrimmage, but he takes the ball to the 38 and recovers it, apparently.
Watch him, Keith. He looks like, here's the play action now. He's looking to the left side, trying to get that little loop screen back to Johnson. But instead, he tucks it away now. Now, here comes Joe Goodwin. Watch him, number 90. Was it 90 that stripped him? No, 90 came over the top now.
57.
It was Randy Rockwell that stripped the ball away from him.
Third quarter is over with Alabama leading 28-10 over Notre Dame.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
You're invited to a groundbreaking. The new Nissan Pathfinder 4x4. Now there's Pathfinder's off-road ruggedness, 3-liter V6 power, 235 tires, and extra long wheelbase. Now there's Pathfinder's civilized ride, cabin-adjustable coil spring suspension, and rich interior. Nissan Pathfinder. Now the adventure begins. The breakthrough is Pathfinder. The name is Nissan.
Elizabeth Taylor, Robert Wagner, together for the first time.
Sometimes you frighten me.
There Must Be a Pony, Sunday.
You've heard a lot about the new General Motors finance program, but let's stop the flashing lights and fine print so you can understand it. You can get 2.9% for 36 months on all cars and most trucks, or choose 4.8% for 48 months. If you don't finance, you get a cash rebate of $300 up to $1,500 depending on the type of car. A program this good only needs a simple explanation, and that's how we sell cars, simple and easy, at Champion Chevrolet Olds in Athens.
First American Federal, celebrating our 60th anniversary, announces the grand opening of our new Madison Square office next to the new mall. And to celebrate our grand opening, come by and register for cash prizes to be awarded October 30th. Meet branch manager Sylvia Bragg and her staff. They're ready to serve you and your financial needs. We appreciate your business. Help us celebrate our 60th year serving Huntsville by coming by our new branch office next to the Madison Square Mall.
First American Federal, your road to success.
Craig Price, 31, Ion Sports.
The ball game. Alabama leads 28-10. Notre Dame owns the football. Second down and 3 at the Alabama 38-yard line. Steve Berline in at quarterback. In trouble. Turns his helmet and shoulders upfield, though, lunging for his first down. And they're going to call him down, even though Slaughter comes out of the stack with the ball. He's going to have a first down very close to the Alabama 35. And I'll re-emphasize the old theme that's been around here now for 2 weeks. As you see the third quarter stats, Alabama has never beaten Notre Dame.
Well, 3 things the Crimson Tide have never been able to do. Beat Notre Dame, win a Heisman Trophy, and beat Texas. Hard to believe there's never been a Heisman Trophy winner at the University of Alabama. I guess Joe Namath came about as close as you could come.
On first down, Berline pumps it. He's got Brown, goes the other way and throws it out of bounds as Jackson shortened up his route. And Brown was wide open, going down the middle.
Looked like Berline was a little bit confused as to the route. I thought he looked up and looked as if he thought the receiver was going to do a down and up. There's Tim Brown. Tim Brown just did the square out and stayed.
Miller still hasn't seen the ball today. Number 17, wide receiver at the top of the picture. Berline options. Comes back to Brown. Brown is tripped up. by number 57, Randy Rockwell. Randy is only 200 pounds, but he plays that linebacking position with ferocity. Ball is at the 31. It's third down and just about 5 yards. Quarter of play. 13:35 to go in the game. Berline straight back. Well, I don't know what that was either. I guess the ball just simply took off, flew away from him because Brown was the only man in the neighborhood and he was 4 feet over his head.
Berline has a total look of frustration right now.
It's 5 out of 15 on the day. It is 4th down and 5 for Notre Dame at the Alabama 31. Minutes after it. Pass is overthrown, intended for Anthony Johnson, and Berline is turned upside down by Cornelius Bennett just as he threw the ball.
Boy, Cornelius Bennett just does not quit. Old Biscuit. They call him Biscuit. They said in the 4th grade he kept eating a lot of biscuits and just sat at the cafeteria forever. But I'm telling you, he just never stops running. Watch 97 now. Here he comes. See him in the middle of your screen, 97? Goes up once, then chases him back the other way. Has a hand on him, and finally, Berline just throws it out of bounds.
13:22 to go. Alabama takes over the football. First down at its own 31, leading by 18.
This is it. The moment they find out if their car's got what it takes. They've done everything they could. Which is why 2 out of 3 Indy 500 drivers rely on STP oil treatment. Because when it comes right down to it, STP adds extra lubrication to reduce engine wear in whatever you drive.
STP is the racer's edge.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures, which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses. One person at a time. Cigna, personalized service to business around the world.
The San Diego Chargers. Quarterback Dan Fouts puts the charge in their offense. The Seattle Seahawks. They're off to one of their best starts ever. It's ABC's Monday Night Football.
Pressure now shifts onto the Irish defensive unit as Alabama comes up, owning the ball and an 18-point lead and time ticking away against them. Shula pitches outside to Humphrey. Humphrey trying to get around the corner. Can't do it. Brought down by George Streeter. Strong safety. Good play by George. Let's go to the best seat in the house now with Al.
Oh, Keith, it's a beauty this week. Not only does it have my name on it, but it's got some special features that belongs to my pal here, Al. It's got a full sound system. It's got a shower. And now the best part, it moves forever. I want it to. Right to any line of scrimmage anywhere on the field. Thank you, Al.
Penalty flags are flying as the ball is snapped, and we may have had movement again. Game has gotten a bit ragged.
Really has the second half. We've seen a lot of flags and just a couple of penalties in the first half. It's like Flag Day out here now.
I think that's fatigue. Hot weather, a little tired. You spent all of your adrenaline surely in the first half, and now you got to reach down and get whatever's left. Sometimes it affects you.
The thing about the heat is that it's accompanied by humidity, and the best conditioned athlete has to feel that. It's draining.
All right, second down and 20 now as the ball comes back. Handed off to Bobby Humphrey. And Humphrey gets from the 24 up to about the 26. They've got to go up to the 41 for their first down. So it was actually about first and 18. Look at that, Indiana. Hoosiers off to a big start, 1986.
Arkansas came back and won big.
Pretty good team. Third down at about 15 now. Shovel pass to Boatwright, gets a block on the corner, gets one from Humphrey, turns it up to the 36, and there he is, gang tackled.
Boatwright is thick, 5'11", 215 pounds, has a low center of gravity. Was an inside linebacker last year, now he's a running back.
Kicking team is on now for Alabama. So Notre Dame's defensive unit does its job. They pin him up and hold him and force the punt. 11:20 to go in the game. Troy Wilson and Notre Jackson are the deep people for the Irish. Not a particularly good punt by Moore. It's taken on the dead run by Troy Wilson, and Troy skips out of bounds at the 37. A 35-yard punt by Moore. A couple of times I've seen him, it looks to me like he hits the ball quite high. Oh, he doesn't wait long enough for that ball. Of course, he's a big, lanky fellow. Maybe that's why he can kick it high, but he seems to be hitting the ball a goodly ways away from the ground.
He's a tough kid for a punter. He was telling me yesterday against Florida, he got hit after he punted the ball. Somebody came right up under his jaw and knocked him cold. Says he's still sore.
Juan Francisco is in the backfield for the Irish now with Pernell Taylor behind Andrzak at quarterback. Terry rolls it out and sets to throw to the sidelines, and the pass is good to no good. Reggie Ward out of bounds. Junior out of Long Beach, California. So that'll come back and make it second down and 10. Next week on ABC, Miami at West Virginia in Morgantown. And Oklahoma and Texas in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Kim Brandt will be in Dallas with Mike Adamley, Corey McFerrin, and Lynn Swan, I guess it is, will be in Morgantown. OU won today, 56-10. Second down and 10 for Notre Dame from the 37-yard line. Andrzak feels the pressure, gets his pass off. And it is incomplete off the hands of Tim Brown, and that's one that Timmy knows full well he should have caught because it was right in his hands.
Looked like Tim was coming back at the ball too hard.
97.
He always set, plant, and come back to meet the ball and try to cut off the defender. That time it looked like he was coming back in a full sprint. The ball hit his hands like boards.
Third and 10. This one is complete. And Milt Jackson will have the first down. He retreated a little bit, came back to the marker, and then turned back upfield to assure the first down right about the Irish 49-yard line.
That's a fine throw by Andrzak, too, because as soon as he released the ball, Cornelius Bennett was right in his face. Watch Cornelius now. You've got to be wondering anytime it's 3rd and 10, where is he? You saw him come in and make contact just as the ball was released. Perfectly thrown to Jackson.
Well, the Irish get another 4 snaps with it. Andrzak lobs the ball out to Anthony Johnson. No, it's not. It's Juan Francisco. And they're kind of lucky they didn't lose that ball that time because it was pitched so late up in his face, and Juan had to really grapple with it to get control of it.
Those are the plays where the running back comes around and loops and is waiting for that pitch, and he's thinking, please pitch it, please pitch it. He doesn't want to wait too late. It's like hanging a receiver up and making him stretch when you know you're going to get hit. Same type thing with the pitch man.
Gained about 3 on the play. Make it second down and 7.
Reggie's open.
Andrzak's got all day, and the ball is thrown finally behind Alvin Miller. Miller was available and probably could have made the catch, but comes away from that twisting fall and limps off the field.
Reggie Ward was getting lonesome out there. There was not a soul within 10 yards of him. He had gone up and out toward the flag, and somebody forgot to cover him.
You certainly can't fault protection on that one.
No, you can't. But it's
9:40 to go in the ball game.
He has to look around at all of his options, though, and look at all of his receivers.
Whistle stop him here for a moment, and a timeout is called by Alabama. With 9:40 to play in the ball game, Notre Dame has the ball, but they are still trailing 28-10.
This is a Hayes modem. Plug it into ordinary phone lines, and you can send financial projections to the PC down the hall, or locate a single part anywhere across the country. Make airline reservations, send or receive electronic mail, or access millions of pages of data, from company profiles to every fact in the encyclopedia. The Hayes modem. It's like sending your PC to college for under $600.
We wouldn't be surprised if next to the word value in the dictionary there was a picture of the new '87 Nissan Stanza. Sure, Stanza's a family car, but it's totally redesigned with luxury features, cruise control, stereo, power windows, all standard. '87 Stanza. Compare all Stanza comes with, and you'll be amazed at what it goes for. The quality and value is Stanza. The name is Nissan.
The Alabama Crimson Tide, with 38 bowl games, leads all other universities in postseason appearances.
Moments ago, we showed you this final score from Lansing, an Iowa victory engineered by backup quarterback Tom Pahulski, preserved by an end-zone interception with 1:32 left, and made possible by a defense that shackled Lorenzo White. In the game, White, 19 carries, 41 yards total. He left with a bad ankle in the fourth period. Iowa remains unbeaten, Keith.
Well, old Hayden's got him cooking, doesn't he? One more time. He's a crafty fellow. Rebuilt that Iowa football program. Third down and 7 now for Notre Dame. So once again, the Irish are looking at third and long, trailing by 18 points. Andrzejczyk gets his pass off down the sidelines, and it is incomplete, intended for Tony Eason. Had no chance to get it because once again there was a linebacker in the face, Philip Brown in this case, of the Irish quarterback. And now the Irish will have to punt it away with 9.5 minutes to go.
Passing situations, they move Philip Brown to a down lineman, make him a rush man. He was there, too.
Little Mr. Poison back there, Greg Richardson, who broke one today for 66 yards and a TD. High kick by Sorensen. And a fair catch is called by Richardson. So Alabama will have the football first down at its own 17. A 31-yard punt. Highland pins Alabama inside its 20.
You see, today is tomorrow in Japan. So when you come for car tomorrow, it will be today.
Life takes a time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Take it to Midas.
At Midas, we can replace mufflers, brake shocks, or struts on most foreign cars, and we won't take all day to do it. Time is money.
Take it to Midas.
If I'd wanted it tomorrow, old chap, I wouldn't be here today.
Take it to someone you trust.
Who says you can't have old world taste and a new world waste? Old world aging and the new world's youthful spirit. Europe's finest hops in America's finest light beer. Michelob Light, old world quality from Anheuser-Busch. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can have it all.
Next Saturday, Heisman candidate Vinny Testaverde leads #1 Miami against West Virginia. Or 6th-ranked Oklahoma takes on Texas. Coverage begins with College Football Today.
Yes, they remember. Never beat the Irish. There were two teams in Paul Bryant's brilliant coaching career and never beat that he wanted to. One was Notre Dame. The other was Alabama. Never beat Alabama when he coached against them. Bo Wright carries inside, picks up maybe a yard as he wiggles around to about the 18-yard line. And Alabama sitting on that 18-point cushion, playing very conservatively now, and no particular interest in hurrying either as we wind it down to 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Been big plays that have been the difference. The game has deteriorated some in its quality. It's gotten a little ragged here in the second half. This is Bobby Humphrey, and Wally Klein grabs him and rides him down again right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a yard.
How tough?
3rd and 10.
How tough does it become now to take Notre Dame back and tell your players that things will come together?
Well, I think they've improved every week. I really do.
Oh, they have. They really have. And this will be a fine football team. Lou Holtz is an outstanding coach, but it's taking time.
Mike Shula, deep drop, trying to set up a screen for Bo Wright. He broke away from a couple of Notre Dame men, but one of them nicked him just enough. Number 37 got a piece of him, Dave Butler, and down he goes, and in comes the kicking team. But the cupboard was not full when Lou Holtz and company came in, succeeding the previous administration. Just short certain players in certain positions.
4 years ago, when this freshman class was recruited, though, it was one of the best recruiting classes there. They just didn't develop as well as some other schools. The weight program was not a requirement, and they didn't get bigger, stronger, and didn't develop.
No pressure on Moore, and a terrible kick for him. That is not a good Chris Moore kick. And it's going to be down right about midfield, where Notre Dame once again will have good field position. And if they're going to make a move, it's now, with 7:25 to play in the game.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures, which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, health care, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses. One person at a time. Cigna, personalized service to business around the world.
That's a Nissan hardbody. It's got everything. It's his. It's got the big V6. Don't touch it. Never seen bigger tires. Don't kick them. Rides high. That's some truck. Yeah.
For power and toughness in 4x4s, the name is Nissan.
I know the old phrase, there's still a lot of time. It's been around forever. And in a particular case, I guess, in professional football, there would be a lot of time. It is not necessarily so, however, in college football, and particularly in this game where the Notre Dame team has been pretty well corralled in the second half. Totally, if you will, by the Alabama defense.
It's a lot of time if you can throw. Andrzak is 7 for 16, Berline 5 for 16. That's not, they aren't good come from behind numbers.
Andrzak rolls it and goes deep with it, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Freddie Robinson, his second of the day.
Well, he's the leading interceptor on the Alabama defensive team, and he is a talent. Again, he reads and reacts as quickly as you can find a cornerback. Watch this now. Berline locked on the receiver right now, still looking in that direction. Read by Robinson, who's just playing a zone out there on the corner. Wide as the widest, deep as the deepest. That's his assignment. He stood out, read the eyes and the ball all the way, and made the interception.
Andrzak, not Berline. So Alabama's got the ball back. First down at the 33. Bell coming across in motion. Pitch it to Humphrey. And Humphrey will move it for 3 yards maybe up to about the 36.
What's up, Q? It ain't it.
Well, you know that they're going to be happy because these kids have lived with that specter over the years of never having done it. And you've got to let them have a little room now to be heard.
It was hammered home this week. Everybody kept saying they were 0-4 against Notre Dame, and they kept saying, well, we haven't played Notre Dame.
Schuler rolls it out. Gets a great block, gets his pass off. The pass is... Did he catch that? My goodness, Howard Cross just inserted himself into the passing game for Alabama. He caught an 11-yard touchdown pass earlier, and he went 6 feet into the air to pull that one down.
I want you to watch Wes Neighbors. Neighbors comes back and gets a block. He's an All-American. He is an All-American. He started 38 of 39 games at center. That ball hit the ground. Howard Cross has become a receiver. 1 completion before today, 1 catch.
First down for the Tide at the Irish inside the 49, and this is Bobby Humphrey breaking loose and picking up another first down at the Notre Dame 33, and then fumbles the ball away, and somebody, I was Steve Lawrence, comes up with it. Again, it was a fumble resulting from second effort. So once again, the Irish defensive unit has done its job.
The thing about second effort is you're running, you've got your body in sync, you're looking for rhythm, and all of a sudden after the first hit, then you try to get something else, and you relax your arms and you start driving your legs trying to pull away, and that relaxed situation with your arms causes the fumble.
Notre Dame offense now, which has been pretty quiet. Steve Bellis is in there at quarterback now. The big sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, making his first appearance. Gives it to Tim Brown, and Brown is lucky to get a yard out of it. At 5:50 to go.
Here's Humphrey now. This is the play before. Humphrey puts a move on. Now look, now he's trying to get the drive out of his legs. Boy, he's got it too.
There's the ball.
And the ball's loose right now.
Yep. Give you an idea of what Notre Dame's problems are at running back. Brown, Tim Brown, and Mark Green today, both of them, 4 of 11. In other words, the 2 backs, 8 carries and 22 yards.
Well, and they've used 11 ball carriers, too. That tells you there's no super back in touch with the game.
And with 5:48 to play and 18 points down, they're almost committed to the pass now. Bellis options down the line and is thrown down. Rolling for a couple of yards as Tommy Cole, defensive tackle, a sophomore out of Jasper, Alabama, brings him down.
See, you really do have to go to the air. I can't understand why they're running options now with 5:31 left in the ball game.
3rd, 5.5, call it 6. Bellis throws to the sidelines. Penalty flag is back upfield. The ball is intercepted by number 34, Ricky Thomas, the strong safety. Let's see about the penalty. That may well be against Notre Dame for holding. If so, Alabama will have the ball. They will have the ball. So Freddie Robinson has picked off 2, and now Ricky Thomas gets 1. That makes 5 turnovers for Notre Dame.
Story of the game, pressure on the quarterback, throws off balance. There's no velocity on the ball. It's not thrown well, and it's thrown behind Jackson, the intended receiver. Ricky Thomas, leading tackler coming into this ball game, and that's unusual for a strong safety on an Alabama-type team. But he plays up close behind that line of scrimmage and offers a lot of run support.
Tide owns it now at the Notre Dame 42 with 5 minutes to play in the game. Shula to Bo Wright. And he grinds for 1. The San Diego Chargers will be going north to the northwest to play the Seattle Seahawks, and you'll see it Monday night here on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Chargers trying to get things back on track. A against the Seahawks, whom is one of the principal challengers out of the American League West, American Conference West. Second down, make it 8. And Shula gives it to Humphrey. And Humphrey is down to the 35 for a pickup of close to 6 yards. See, Humphrey has done a large amount of work today because of the injury to Gene Jelks. See, if you had Jelks and Humphrey both alive, things might be worse because, if anything, Jelks might be a half a step faster than Humphrey, though not quite as big.
But, you know, he had 5 yards gained already before he got by his own lineman.
That's true.
That's how far back they're pushing Notre Dame now.
Humphrey 18 carries and 70 yards on the day. Third down and 3 for Alabama. Shula got a problem but ducks away from it. But the pursuit coming from the rear gets him. Number 87, Tom Gorman, the nose tackle, made the hit on Shula. That will bring up 4th and the punting team.
7 yards.
Aggies rolling today over Texas Tech, 45-8 in the Southwest Conference. Wilson and Jackson are the deep people for Notre Dame as Chris Moore is in to punt. His last one was 29, but he shoots this one high, way up, and it's out of bounds. Coffin corner.
That's called pooching. He pooched that thing down into the corner and got it to take that side bounce right out of bounds.
40-yard pooch, out of bounds inside the 3.
This is a solid football team from top to bottom. Kicking game is sound. Offense and defense extremely quick.
Yep. They'll take some handling. It was interesting, though, today that they had their point explosion in the first half, whereas in their previous 4 games, they've done everything in the second half.
That's really true. They've scored 78 points this year in the second half coming in to this ball game this afternoon.
Andrzak is at quarterback, hands the ball off to his fullback, Braxton Banks, a freshman out of Hayward, California. And Banks has something out of it up to the 9-yard line. So that's a little more than a 6-yard pickup, and there's an Alabama man hurt on the play. And there's your time remaining in the ball game. Desmond Holloman, linebacker, number 48, who works at the inside position. And we've got a timeout in his behalf. 2:43 to play.
It's time to change your light bulb. Philips Longer Life Square bulbs last 33% longer than ordinary round bulbs.
Valvoline is giving away trips to 4 of America's greatest parades in the Valvoline 4-Guard I Love a Parade sweepstakes. Details available soon in stores where Valvoline motor oil is sold.
Do you have anything in aviation?
The Army's most technical training
Are there any openings in communications?
is also the Army's most popular training.
I'd really like computers.
So it pays to have a reservation.
Electronics.
If you qualify, you can get a guaranteed reservation for the training you want up to 12 months in advance, even if you're still in high school.
All that you can be.
We'll see you after graduation.
Find your future in the arts.
Congratulations.
Desmond Holloman is still down on the field. They're being very tender with him. And some of the crowd now starting to leave with 2 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the ball game, feeling that the home team, Alabama, has things in hand and is about to post its first victory ever over the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And based on what I have seen today, Tim Brandt, I would say Alabama probably deserves that number 2 spot in the polls.
They do. It's the highest ranking Alabama's had since 1980. They certainly do look like they deserve that. Golly, you know, they're just strong, they're fast, they're big. The skilled position people are as good as you find. You've got pursuit people on the defense. Bennett is phenomenal. I can't believe Cornelius Bennett.
They've brought a stretcher out now, and that's bad news because oftentimes that will indicate back or neck injury in a player, and you never, ever want to see that happen.
No, and another reason for concern is the way that Coach Perkins came out, too, onto the field.
So time is still out in behalf of Desmond Holloman. A 28-10 ball game with 2:43 to play. And now let's go to New York and Jim Lampley.
Coming up this week on ABC Sports, you're going to see the beginning of baseball playoff coverage, starting with the American League Championship Series. Mike Witt going against Roger Clemens, perhaps the two most effective starting pitchers in the American League this year, certainly in the eyes of most baseball observers, and that'll be coming along Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific time. National League matchup for Game 1, Dwight Gooden of the Mets, who may end today with 107 wins and will have a chance to make it 108 in their last regular season game tomorrow, against Mike Scott and the Houston Astros. Scott, a possible Cy Young Award winner in the National League. That'll be Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, and 5 o'clock Pacific time. Baseball playoff coverage begins this week on ABC Sports. Keith?
All right, Jimmy, thank you very much. And still, they are being very gentle with Desmond Holloman. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hamburger places may be good at making hamburgers, but when they try to make chicken, it doesn't always fly. That's why I count on the chicken experts, Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Colonel's secret recipe makes their chicken tender, juicy, and downright delicious.
Finger licking good.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Those burger places are only fooling themselves.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
When you buy a Nissan 300ZX, you buy a legend, a tradition of many Z cars, each meticulously made to the tolerance of an expensive watch. You buy a racing heritage unmatched by any car in its class. But most of all, when you buy the awesome 300ZX, you buy Nissan, America's #1 selling import car. The name is Nissan.
Well, that's Desmond Holloman, number 48 for Alabama, and he's been down now for the better part of 3 or 4 minutes, having been injured in this play. Now, you see him up there in the corner, and you watch very carefully. It's difficult to see what might have happened to him.
He comes up in the run support, and you'll see him. He puts his head right in here with the oncoming ball carrier and the blocker right there, makes the contact, and it looks as if, well, it is difficult to tell what happened. Yep. But he led with his head. That was obvious. You could see that. And they are still working on him gingerly.
So we're still waiting to see whether or not he'll be able to leave or whether they'll have to take him off. Here's Jim.
All right, and while we hope that Desmond Holloman will be okay, and while they continue to work on him, I promised you the story of the Yale band. Last year, when Yale played Army at West Point, the officials at Army saw to it that because of the unpredictability of the Yale band, it was not allowed to play on the field in West Point. So today, in New Haven, the Yale band played 20 minutes before the start of the game, serenading the Generals. They marched in a straight line, presumably to demonstrate that they could. They spelled out the words USA, of course, again, presumably to demonstrate that they could. And they also spelled Star Wars, T-S-A-R, presumably to show that they can't spell Star Wars. Meanwhile, you're looking at other Ivy League scores over my shoulder as we print out the saga of the Yale band. And just to remind you, Army defeated Yale at New Haven 41-24. Penn remains unbeaten. Brown remains unbeaten. Princeton is winless. Keith?
Injured player, ladies and gentlemen, number 48,
Desmond Holloman is moving his hands. He also, Keith, was talking to the trainers, and that's a good sign. He is conscious and he is moving his hands.
Well, if it is a neck injury, you don't want to mess with it because you just never know. There might be some nerve damage there, and if there is, you certainly don't want to do anything to aggravate it. And that's why both teams are now off the field talking to their respective coaches. And Desmond is being handled very carefully with a corps of doctors around him. A football game in which he participated well and in which his team is winning by a score of 28-10. And today's ABC Sports Exclusive has been brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to test drive a new Go Anywhere Nissan Pathfinder at your Nissan dealer now. By Cigna, a leader in insurance, health care, employee benefits, and financial services. By the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be. And by Castrol Oil, the motor oil designed and engineered for today's smaller cars. Holloman now is off the field. And we're about ready to go through the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds of this ball game. Let's all hope the young man's going to be all right.
It is scary, and it is certainly one of the dangerous parts of this football game. It's a contact sport.
Late in the game is, on a hot day like this, really tough time.
And you made mention of the fact that fatigue oftentimes leads to injury.
Yes. You get just a little tired, you get just a little careless, you tend to relax perhaps in a moment when you should not. You cease moving when perhaps you should be moving. All of those little things add up into perhaps what we have just seen. Today, Holloman had 3 tackles and 1 forced fumble. Notre Dame's football, 2nd down and 3, long 3 from their 9. Andrzejczak turns it up the field and will not get the first down. I don't think. His forward progress is close to the yard marker, but it'll be 3rd and short, I believe. Now they want to bring the chains on, I guess.
Slaughter made the tackle.
Clock shows 2:15 to play.
4 yards, first down Notre Dame.
Well, for Notre Dame, they'll go back, they'll watch the film, they'll reevaluate themselves. They'll be another week for Lou Holtz and his staff to sit down and see what they're doing correctly and what they're doing incorrectly, where they can improve, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board. For Alabama, they've beaten 3 big-time opponents. They crushed Vanderbilt, and they just keep rolling.
They did get their first down on the measurement. Andrzejczak pitches the ball. They're running the ball with Juan Francisco carrying and getting out of bounds up around the 19-yard line. That stops the clock at 1:48. Notre Dame will be playing next Pittsburgh at home. Pitt, a team that's coming right along, while Alabama will be going home to homecoming next Saturday in Tuscaloosa and playing Memphis State. Then on October 18, they're scheduled for the annual or the every other year junket to Knoxville, Tennessee, which can be a treacherous place. 2nd down, 4 for Notre Dame. Andrzejczak again options the ball, hands it inside. Clock is now running at 1:40. And Al, do you have something on Desmond Holloman?
Well, Keith, really not too much. As you might expect, there was a rather solemn group of medical staff and trainer-type people behind the bench. They did say that there was some kind of concern over pain in his neck. That was the only words that Desmond was able to express to them about where he was feeling the pain. It's somewhere in his neck, and obviously he's on the way to the hospital for some x-rays and so forth. Back to you.
Thank you. 3rd down and 2. Andrzejczak again options, turns it upfield, runs for his first down, and the clock will stop at 1:10 while they move the change. So Notre Dame obviously feeling the game is gone, is just grinding along here, and will spend the timeout to talk about things now. The MVPs of today's ball game for Notre Dame, Mike Kovalevsky, their outstanding inside linebacker, leader of that defensive unit, and Cornelius Bennett, the linebacker who plays anywhere he pleases for Alabama. And the respective universities will receive from Chevrolet, in the name of those 2 players, $1,000 for their general scholarship fund. So some young person somewhere along the way at either Notre Dame or Alabama will benefit from the performances of Mike Kovalevsky and Cornelius Bennett today, and the generosity of Chevrolet.
Mike Kovalevsky, 11 tackles. Cornelius Bennett, everywhere. He was effective even when he didn't make the tackle or a sack. Newspaper writer asked Cornelius Bennett the other day, he says, when you were growing up, was there somebody in the neighborhood that was a bully or bigger than everybody else? And he said, me.
Well, I don't imagine he had to call for help too many times in his age group anyway. The ball is on the 24-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Notre Dame. 1:10 to play in the game. And most of the excitement really was in the first half. Andrzejczak back to pass the ball, is going to be sacked and dropped back on the 8-yard line. The Alabama defense forcing and forcing and forcing and forcing. The ball rolled loose, but was covered by James Bogus, the center for the Irish. And so they moved from the 24, a loss of 16.
Just relentless. Both Notre Dame quarterbacks have to be gun shy right now. Berline and this one, and Razak. As the pressure just keeps coming, he's trying to regain his balance, but once one gets you and throws you off, there's 2 or 3 more right behind him. The tide keeps rolling.
Clock is rolling now and is going to run out. And the Crimson Tide of Alabama is going to be 1-4. They have finally beaten the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame as the clock is stopped here for a moment on a penalty with 15 seconds remaining. Personal foul is now called against Alabama. And if you think there was a party out under the oak trees before the game, y'all ought to come see what's going to happen after the game. Because this is the kind of a thing that is a burden to the loyal legions, as tradition-laden as Alabama is, just as it would be for Notre Dame. Finally, the Crimson Tide has broken through and won. And Mike Shula was right. This group had never played Notre Dame, just as none of the Irish players had played Alabama. Steve Bellis is in there at quarterback for what is probably the final snap of the ball game. Takes off with it and is finally put on the ground at about the 38, 39, 40-yard line. And the clock stops with 3 seconds. There'll be one more snap. Now they let it run out. Ball game is over. And Ray Perkins and his Tigers have done it. They have defeated Notre Dame. Good football game. There will be other times because these teams will continue their series. Lou Holtz there talking to Mike Shula and now Ray Perkins. And your final score, Alabama 28, Notre Dame 10. Stay tuned for updated scores and highlights of today's football action on College Football Scoreboard with Jim Lampley. Travel arrangements made through, promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. Nobody knows Hawaii like United. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.
Saturday.